Aha.
You're live.
We're live. It is live now? Yeah. Okay. Do you want the mouse thing?
Sure, that would, yeah, if that works. Oh. Thank you. I'm sorry, you must be Nora.
Yes, I am.
Nice to meet you. I think what I'll do is maybe I'll save my suit for
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
and then if you want, I can get started while you guys are eating, and then we save them.
Yeah, sorry. I
But that's yeah.
told everybody to come early and then. Well.
One thing, eating a big bowl of hot soup and then going through a presentation was in my best interest.
Fair enough. What again?
Sure, water would be great. Thank you.
No problem.
Who else? How many more?
One more.
One more?
Thank you. Thank you.
So the arena caters then, or did they do this just?
She actually caters, like she does meals for two or takeout meals, she calls it. So like actually today was shepherd's pie and it's like, what? Oh, we could have had shepherd's pie for supper. Yeah, so you just have to order ahead of time and not, or I order a couple at a time and I throw some in the freezer and
Yeah.
yeah, it's really
My goal is to not wear any suit.
yeah. I tried that at lunch today. It didn't work.
So let's get I'll jump into it then. So I think I've met everyone. Yeah, I got I don't think I mentioned I'm the CEO at Palliser. I've been in the position for been at Palliser for about 8 years and I'm in the CEO for about 6. And Elliot's our GIS coordinator from Palliser, been with us for about 2 years. And with council elections occurring this year, and we know, I believe there's 2 new on. So,
Well, three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to go out and do council orientations where we're going to talk a bit about one background on Palliser and the services that we support standard on. But the bigger part is going into planning 101. So just trying to help councillors get familiar with the planning system in Alberta, planning and development, roles and responsibilities, and specifically where does council's roles fit into all that versus Palliser versus administration. Talk a bit about processes for adopting planning bylaws and then some council do's and don'ts. And then we can talk a bit about recent and upcoming projects as well. And then Elliot will go through GIS with you guys. If you have any questions or want to discuss anything, just feel free to jump in at any time. So to start, Palliser was formed back in 1995 when the province disbanded regional planning commissions. And Palliser actually existed prior to 1995. So Carrie in our office about a week ago found one of our first AGM reports from 1976. So prior to 95, we existed as a regional commission. And then in 95, the province repealed the Planning Act. When that was repealed, they put out the Municipal Government Act, which did not allow for the formation of regional commissions for planning. So after that, Palliser was formed as a municipal agency, and then in 2007, we were incorporated as a nonprofit corporation. So today we provide regional planning, GIS, safety code services to 24 member municipalities across South Central Alberta. And we operate under user pay principles, so our sources of revenue include our municipal shareholder requisitions, our safety code permits, revenue, and then planning and subdivision application fees and general consulting fees for special projects. We have 8 full-time positions at Palliser. So myself, Carrie Bott, our office manager, Gary Wilson, our subdivision planner, Tracy Ratenko, our senior. Some of you might have probably have interacted with a fair amount. Zachary Forrest is our new planner, joined us this summer. Linda Taylor is the safety code administrator. So if you've ever pulled a permits of any kind, building, gas, electrical, you've probably spoken with Linda. Elliot, and then Delane Bankhead, our safety codes and subdivision clerk. So in 2022, 2022, we took on a large project that we called our Palliser Regional Service Enhancement Project. We got grant funding from the province and worked with a third-party consultant. And we really broke the organization down from top to bottom. So we went out to all member municipalities and we talked about what is the focus of Palliser? So what are the services that particularly our small municipalities truly need? And what should we really be focusing on to make sure what we're providing is aligning with your guys' needs? I think over the history of Palliser, what we've seen is municipalities' resources are growing smaller and smaller, and the demand on services was getting bigger and bigger. So we really wanted to refocus and draw some structure around like what we should truly be focusing on at Palliser for you guys. We looked at our function too. So is the organization functioning effectively? What's our structure, our staffing, processes and oversight? And then we looked at our funding, which was the key piece as well. So is the organization financially sustainable? How does our funding model work and how do we split the pie across all the municipalities? What do alternative options look like for members? So if Palliser didn't exist, what would it cost members to deliver the services that Palliser is helping with? And what are other potential funding sources? So the outcome of that was our 22 to 27 strategic plan. We refined our core service model, created a new organizational structure and associated budget, and then a new requisition model based on that structure and budget. So the outcomes of what services Palliser provides, if you look on our website, you'll find a copy of our strategic plan, and within the strategic plan, we have a core services section. It goes into a lot of detail. I'm going to touch on some of the highlights tonight, but if you have any questions, just let me know. Really, one of the key services as a planning organization is the creation and review of statutory planning documents, such as your municipal development plan, and the creation and review of land use bylaws. We'll also process statutory plan amendments, land use bylaw amendments, and rezoning applications as required. So if someone's wanting to change a parcel from UR to industrial district or something like that, they apply through Palliser. We process that application, including drafting and amending bylaws for you guys, bringing staff reports to council with recommendations and helping to guide you guys through the council process. We also complete periodic changes to ensure bylaws reflect latest legislative updates. So if the Municipal Government Act changes and that affects your planning documents, we work to try to get that all back. And every municipality gets one major project every 3 years, and it's every 5 years for small villages. Standard is not in the 5-year one, you're in the 3-year. So the small ones are like the really, really small ones, like Village of Empress, for example, or more than months.
So what's an example of a major project?
New land use bylaw, which we completed in 2024 with you guys, so
Yeah.
that's, yeah, that's a good example of it. Yeah. One of the things we've really been focusing on over the past few years as well is support training and resources, trying to build internal capacity for municipalities. So this is going to be a little bit different for you guys because now we're acting under the Development Authority Pilot Project as your development officer, which I'll talk about in a future slide. But overall, Palliser really works to provide assistance to development officers across the region. We're available for daily supportive questions, yearly training sessions. We have a whole bunch of resources developed for development officers. We're also available to provide advice guidance to staff, council, and residents on planning and development processes and applications. So if you're at a council meeting and maybe there's a planning and development related item that's going to be on the upcoming agenda, you're welcome to reach out if you'd like us to attend and provide some input on that. Subdivision applications. So Palliser processes subdivision applications on behalf of all Palliser municipalities. So Palliser is actually delegated the subdivision authority powers for majority of all of our urban municipalities. So we issue a decision on those applications. And we provide subdivision advice and guidance to applicants and available to review and assist subdivision applications that are being proposed by your municipality. So if there's village-owned lots that you guys are subdividing, we usually recommend to reach out to us in advance and talk that through, or we can help you through some of that. Safety codes administration. So we provide the administration, processing, and issuance of safety code permits across the region. Palliser is actually the only regional planning agency that provides safety code services to shareholders, and we're accredited in building, electrical, gas, plumbing, and private sewage permits. Right now, we contract inspections to Park Enterprises. We recently entered a 3-year contract with them that goes until April 2027. I guess it's already almost halfway done, so it feels recent. Time's flying by, but so that contract will be coming up for review next year. Intermunicipal Subdivision and Development Appeal Board. So Palliser organizes, coordinates, and administers the regional ISDAB on behalf of municipalities. So I'm not sure how familiar everyone is with ISDAB, but it essentially creates a pool of trained members across the whole Palliser region for municipalities to draw from in the case of appeal to subdivision or development permit. So one of the challenges municipalities had when they introduced requirements for training for SDAB members that only last 3 years, you're only allowed 1 counselor to hear an appeal, and you have to have 2 members at large. A lot of municipalities struggle to keep a board active and up to date. So we're grouped now as a region, and we try to get every municipality to contribute at least 1 member, and then we can pull from across the region. Is there any question on services that gets us into Plan 101? Was any of that new or kind of just a refresher for you guys?
In projects that you guys provide for the village, so we did our land use bylaw, which is really about probably every 9-10 years, right?
Yeah.
So what would be the next project that you would think that we should be?
Well, I have a slide on that.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to chat with you guys about tonight. Yeah. So how does the planning system work in Alberta? And in the province, it's really structured off of the idea of a hierarchy. So at the top, you have your provincial legislation, the Municipal Government Act being the big ticket item. And that filters down information into our statutory planning documents. And there's, sorry, it's counting quick, I lost count there, but 5 main statutory planning documents. The first at the top is Alberta Land Stewardship Act regional plans, which aren't currently in place for the region. I think there might be some discussions restarting about getting them in place, but we're gonna have to wait and see on those. You have your intermunicipal development plan and IDP. So that deals with the shared boundary between you guys and Wheatland County. They're pretty high level documents, and what it's going to deal with is more how do we communicate if there's a development or subdivision that goes on the shared boundary. Who do we share that with? How do we refer it? And even if there's a dispute, how do you deal with the dispute? There's a dispute resolution process within it. The next on the list would be your municipal development plan, which we're going to talk about in more detail next. It's more of your community focused document about how you want your community to develop over time. And then you have area structure plans and area redevelopment plans. So right now, there's neither of those are in place for the village of Standard. But we'll talk a little bit about those and what they're beneficial for. We're going to talk through statutory plans first, and then we'll drop down and talk about the land use bylaw. So what are statutory plans? They're legally binding documents or laws within the municipality. They're adopted by municipal bylaw approved by council. All statutory plans adopted by municipality must be consistent with each other and with provincial legislation. So if there's a conflict between a policy in your MDP, municipal development plan, and IDP, the intermunicipal one would prevail because it's higher on that. The Municipal Government Act legislates what must or may be considered in each of these documents. And a key part is that council cannot vary a statutory plan, which is how it differs from a land use bylaw, and we'll talk about that. So what is in the statutory plan and how do they fit together? And for the purpose of today, I think we're going to focus on municipal development plans and area structure plans. They're really the main 2 documents that you would not need to be aware of, but most likely to come up in influencing decisions. So, the municipal development plan is the community's long-term vision. It's what do we want our community to look like over time. It sets broad goals and policy direction for growth, land use, transportation, and services. It establishes future land uses for areas of the municipality. So what type of land uses do we want to locate where? And it's actually mandatory for all municipalities to have. Area structure plans drops down to that next level where it translates your MDP policies into a specific location. So that's when you're going to start to identify specific land use types, lot layout, densities, roads, servicing, and even phasing of development. An ASP is not mandatory and not always necessary, and we'll talk about that. So for the purpose of tonight, I'm using an example actually from the Village of Linden's MDP because it's going to show how it filters into an area structure plan that they're working on currently. For the sake of standard, you guys are going to have the very similar future land use map as well as a map that talks about future growth locations. So for example, this is the Village of Linden Municipal Development Plan. In that top northwest corner that's circled in red, there's going to be an area structure plan there that we're going to talk a bit about. But overall, every municipality is going to have a future land use map that outlines the main anticipated land use for those locations. One thing that the Village of Linden has looked at, which is also in the Village of Standard MDP, it looks a little bit different, but they've really looked at where are our priority growth areas versus our long-term growth areas. And they've determined that based off of the logical extension of existing development, but more importantly, infrastructure. So they've utilized their infrastructure master plan to understand where do we actually have capacity for growth? What is our infrastructure conditions look like? What upgrades would be required if we are going to grow on this side of the village versus in this location? Which has really helped them identify where they should focus first. So some of the policies that follow that, and this slide is a little bit wordy, but these are the policies right out of their MDP. So new development will be directed to priority growth areas. Development within long-term growth areas should occur after the development of priority growth areas. The village may consider earlier development of the long-term growth areas where development provides or expands the provision of required housing forms, commercial services, or other economic development. Infrastructure such as roads and utilities are readily available to service and development, and adequate capacity exists in existing municipal infrastructure. So really pushing the infrastructure piece. They've also talked about prior to land use amendment or subdivision in one of these areas that the council may require a developer to complete an area structure plan or conceptual scheme to be prepared and approved. Which is why I wanted to use the Village of Linden example. So they utilized their MDP to require an area structure plan, which is the Linden Northwest ASP, is currently in draft form right now. But they essentially utilize their MDP to provide the high level policy support for the creation of an ASP in this area. And an area structure plan is where we're going to start to see the site specific planning for future development. So general law layout, land use districts, policies and strategies for servicing and infrastructure, and how development will be phased through the area over time. So to me, one of the key pieces of area structure plans is coordinating servicing. So we know in our small communities, development and subdivision happens slow. We might see a few lots 1 year, maybe 5 years later, a few more. The challenge with that is if you have multiple developers or landowners, and over time you're putting one lot here and one lot there, and not really considering how the whole area is going to be serviced as a whole, it can really lead to some challenges down the road. So one example, probably the best example of that is stormwater management. Like managing your stormwater really takes into consideration a large catchment area, and just to look at one subdivision at a time and determine how stormwater should be managed is really difficult to do. So I think one of the benefits of something like an area structure plan is coordinating that servicing, and that actually unlocks the ability for those landowners, developers come in and start doing those single lot subdivisions, because then they're just inputting themselves into that existing framework of servicing. When is an area structure plan necessary? So you want to utilize your MDP to provide guidance on when an area structure plan is necessary for developers, but overall some example considerations. Large or multi-parcel development on large areas of vacant land. Excuse me, sorry. Development will involve multiple lots, phases, or landowners, and requires coordinated planning and servicing. Usually you're going to have new or significant municipal infrastructure required, new roads, wastewater, water, storm, and other services that need to be planned comprehensively. So it's not always necessary to do an area structure plan, and we've been talking with our municipalities a little bit about this. If there's an area of land that's it's not a huge piece of land, and maybe there's just one landowner, we can always require more information at the subdivision stage. So maybe we have them do a servicing conceptual design for the whole piece of land at the subdivision stage. They're not actually creating and drafting it, adopting a full area structure plan. But it's really site specific on when an ASP is helpful versus when we can maybe get by without it. There might be situations where we don't want to make a developer go through a whole area structure plan process just to get a subdivision out. But then there's cases where it's really in everyone's best interest to do that area structure plan in advance. Is there any questions on statutory plans? So what comes next? All the information from our statutory planning documents really then filters down into our land use bylaw, and that's where we start to apply our specific zoning and regulations for development on parcels. So the purpose of the land use bylaw is to regulate and control the use and development of land and buildings in a municipality. So it's the parcel specific rules and regulations, like your lot sizes, setbacks, and building types. The key difference is a land use bylaw is non-statutory, so certain standards can be varied. Standards like building height or setbacks. So for instance, if a applicant came in, there's a 10-foot setback required, and they're proposing only 9, that they're requesting a 10% variance, and that's something that we're allowed to issue under the land use. Which is, one difference between the statutory plan. It's going to include a higher level of detail than your statutory plans, and it's really the tool for implementing the objectives and policies. So the way I like to think of that is your MDP and area structure plans are kind of your blueprints for how an area you want it to develop, and the land use bylaw is actually going to build it through its setbacks and lot sizes and zoning, and it's going to lead to what you actually see on the ground for buildings. And overall, the land use bylaw is the main document used to assess specific details on a development's permit application. So what are the components of it? Your land use bylaw is going to start by establishing methods of making decisions on development permit applications. So who are the authorities that make decisions on permits? What are the timeframes for making those decisions? Who is notified? How are they notified? What are they notified of? What types of permits? It divides the municipality into districts under residential, commercial, industrial, and prescribes the appropriate permitted and discretionary uses for each district. It's going to create development standards to meet objectives of planning documents and prevent land use conflicts. So again, setbacks, building heights. And includes specific and general land use regulations. So we might see specific regulations that apply to any home occupation, or general regulations like parking that could apply to any permit that gets submitted. So what's the difference between a permitted versus a discretionary use? So this is a snapshot from your detached residential district. You'll see you have your list of permitted and discretionary uses. So permitted use refers to those uses that will be allowed if all development standards are met. So the development officer can't actually refuse to issue a permit for permitted use when there's no relaxations or variances being applied for, and all the setbacks, heights, all that is being met. There's actually case law that talks about that, and also requires municipalities to ensure that every landowner has the ability to apply for permitted uses. So if you own a piece of property, you should at least know that there's certain uses within your municipality within that piece of land that you should be able to count on getting a permit for. And that's why they're considered uses the community is most comfortable with for an area. An applicant and landowner can rely on being allowed to produce. So for example, in your R1 district, a single detached dwelling is a permitted use. If someone has an R1 parcel, they should be able to expect to build a single detached house if they can meet the standards. Whereas something like adding an accessory dwelling unit detached, so an additional dwelling unit in a backyard garage is maybe more discretionary, which we'll talk about next. Discretionary uses. So those are uses that may be allowed, but only if the development authority is satisfied it complies with the bylaw and is appropriate for the site and surrounding it. So discretionary use requires judgment, evaluation, not automatic approval. It's going to be reviewed for compatibility, impacts, and conditions. It may be approved with conditions, or refused. And this is typically subject to notification process and is always subject to an appeal. And these will go to your municipal planning commission to review and make a decision on. We'll talk a bit about that. So overall, our decisions on subdivision and development permits are made by applying that higher level policy that's approved by council and the province. So we look at provincial legislation, your statutory plans, and then your land use bylaw regulations. So where does council's role fit into all this? And really the first point on the list is council's primary role, and that's setting the policy direction through statutory planning documents and the land use bylaw. So council adopts and approves those bylaws, and then as administration, we work and administer them within that policies you've set. So council approves your new statutory plans and land use bylaws and any amendments to them, such as a rezoning application, or another example would be even a text amendment. If there's someone wanted to add a permitted use to a district, they'd apply for a text amendment, and that comes to council to review and make a decision on. Council wants to ensure that planning policy reflects community's goals, values, and long-term vision, and that council uses statutory plans as the primary guide when considering development-related decisions. So if there's existing policy that no longer reflects council's direction, let's change the policy. And council delegates subdivision and now also development authority to Palliser. Palliser's role, Palliser leads council and administration through the creation review of planning documents. We manage public engagement, including workshops and open houses, drafting planning bylaws and policy to make sure it meets legislative requirements, best practices, and council and community direction. And we process and recommend decisions on subdivision applications and provide professional planning analysis and recommendations to council administration. I'm sorry, I have recommend decisions in there. It should be if we actually make the decision on the application. So this is the new part, and that is the Development Authority pilot project, where Palliser is going to be acting as the development officer for the issuance of development permits for the village. So Palliser will be able to issue permits for permitted uses, and those with minor variances, so only up to 10%, like so the setback example I used. Your municipal planning commission is going to decide on all discretionary use permits and anything where there's a major variance, so greater than 10%. Palliser will still process those applications and provide recommendations to your municipal planning commission, but MPC makes the final decision. Is there any questions on that? I'm sure, I know the agreements probably just came through you guys recently, so you're probably talked about it, I imagine, like that.
Well, I think it will help to avoid conflicts that, you know, we're not the experts at it, right?
No.
So, yeah, I think it will take care of a lot of problems
For sure.
we've had in the past.
While we're on that too, So we are, like, we've called it a pilot project because we want to test the waters first. I know we've talked about before acting as the development officer, but we did have some concern about just our ability to do that across all municipalities and the demand. So we're testing it out with 3 municipalities first, so Standard, Minden, and Village of Delia. So we're gonna try it out for a year and see how it goes, and then we can talk about it and see how it goes after a year.
You're just saying that like the MPC uses discretionary permits over 10%. What if we were going to redesignate land like from commercial residential or residential commercial? Would we be able to do that, or would that have to go through?
That comes to council for a decision, because what you're doing is you're amending the land use district.
Yeah.
So this is your land use district map.
Yeah.
So it's, for example, if you're talking about changing a UR parcel, urban reserve, to industrial.
Yeah.
Whoever's doing that would apply for an application to amend your land use bylaw. That gets filtered through Palliser. We'll write a staff report and draft the amending bylaw for you. Bring it to council, present the information, and council reviews and makes a decision. If you approve it, which is done through 3 readings, then the district gets changed and the bylaws change.
Yeah.
The role of your municipal administration, and this slide is probably more relevant now. It used to speak to development officers, but now with a standard, that's no longer the case. But still, your municipal administration will assist Palliser with administrative tasks related to development permit processing. So at the office, Yvette and Laura they'll likely still take in an application if someone comes to drop it off in person, and take in the fee and then pass on the application to us from there, as an example. Administration will still coordinate your municipal planning commission, so scheduling meetings and keeping your municipal planning commission bylaw up to date, that kind of thing. Provides technical input and comments on planning projects, development, and subdivision applications. So that's kind of a key one. So for example, for processing a subdivision application, we need engineering input on a servicing component of it. Usually we'll circulate the village and request some engineering input from your guys' engineers, which is it MPE? Or, yeah. Or even Public Works. A lot of times Public Works input on subdivisions is really helpful. And then administration in general works with Palliser to coordinate planning, enforcement, and policy implementation. So overall, council leads through policy, and administration and Palliser implements policy through consistent decisions. Again, the other decision makers would be your municipal planning commission. They're established by bylaw and may include council members or members at large. Do you guys have members at large already?
Oh, yes, we do. And planning commission, MPC, no,
Just council,
yeah, just council.
which is pretty common for most of the villages, yeah. And again, they'll act as the development authority for discretionary use permits or any permit that requires a variance over 10%. And then we talked about the ISDAB already, but they hear and decide on appeals for any subdivision decision, development permit decision, or even stall orders. Decisions are final and subject to appeal only to the courts on a question of law or jurisdiction from the SDAB. So the only place it can go from there is up to the Court of Appeal. So this will speak to the rezoning question a little bit as well, but what is the process for adopting planning bylaws, or even an amendment to a planning bylaw like a rezoning? So one, planning bylaws amendments require 3 readings by council. A public hearing must be held after first reading, but before second reading. So this is the formal opportunity for public input. So in the case of a rezoning, The Municipal Government Act includes circulation requirements, so adjacent landowners are notified. They get an opportunity to say whether they support that lot going from residential to commercial, and that comes forward at the public hearing. Council may propose amendments to the bylaw, the draft bylaw that's coming forward by motion. So amendments can be introduced during any of the 3 readings. So if there's a bylaw that's come forward to council, and say after the public hearing, there was concerns brought forward from residents, you can make changes to that bylaw by motion at the next second or third reading. The one thing to remember is that if significant changes are made, that sometimes requires us to go back and redo the public hearing. So if you're making a change that's large enough that it's changing the context of that bylaw and what the public hearing was originally held for, sometimes we have to circle back and redo the public hearing. That's pretty rare though. I've only ever seen that happen once. So. And then final adoption occurs following third reading. One thing we've been wanting to point out as well is that administration and council should review your council procedural bylaws and your public participation policy for any additional municipal specific requirements. So every municipality might have a slightly different procedural bylaw. So before you're going through a public hearing process, it's good to check in on those and just ensure all the boxes are being checked. On the right there as well, that's an example of one of the notices that we would send out for rezoning applications. So those get posted in the newspaper and delivered to adjacent landowners. Which gets us to the public hearing. So public hearings are the opportunity for residents to speak in support or against a bylaw. And what is council's role and responsibility? So really council's role at a public hearing is to listen to residents. And that's it. So in bold, it is not a platform for discussion or debate. TPs. Really, it's at times public hearings can get out of hands quickly. So the key is really keeping in mind that we're there to listen to residents. It's not a platform for a vet or I to be providing a whole bunch of information or a presentation on the bylaw. We're there for council to hear how residents feel about what's being proposed. So in those scenarios, it's really important that council's actively taking notes and writing down any proposed changes to bylaw you may want to bring forward at second or third reading. So at this stage, that bylaw's already been through events and been through Palliser. We've put forward a administrative recommended draft. It's really in your guys's, the ball's in your court once we hit the council table and the public hearing process. So we're available during those public hearings. You can ask questions of speakers. If you need to clarify something with them, you can ask questions of administration if you want us to clarify something. But when you start to think about bringing forward changes to the bylaw, we really look to council for direction on how you guys want to move forward. One thing we've been mentioning as well, if you heard something in a public hearing and you feel you want to make a proposed change at second reading, you can reach out to us in advance and we can help you craft that motion so it's worded properly, because at times amending land use bylaw on the fly in a council meeting can lead to issues for sure. So if you change one section of land use bylaw, a lot of times it's going to have a cascading impact. So we try to get councils to reach out in advance of that council meeting, and we'll listen to what motion you want to make. We'll try to craft the wording for you and then bring it back to you guys, make sure it meets what you're trying to accomplish. Council should keep an open mind at public hearings and be free from bias and stay focused on the land use issue at hand. And that's an important one for sure. And the chair needs to ensure procedural fairness. So to help with that, so we've actually developed a lot of resources over the past couple of years. We've seen some public hearings that have gotten out of hand quickly. So we've been working on developing more and more resources for councils. So on the right-hand side, we created a guide for councils for public hearings and also a guide for residents participating in public hearings. So if you're holding a public hearing that might be contentious, we usually recommend having those out for the residents, and it gives them a chance to read and understand what the public hearing is actually about before they get there, or even understand the process a little bit more clearly. We also have chair script. So as the mayor, you're chairing the meeting, and the chair script really helps you walk through every piece and make sure that you're hitting all the key points in the public hearing. So any questions on public hearings? I don't know if there's been a contentious one here for a while. I know Tracy was involved in the land use bylaw one more than I was, but I can't remember how.
Yeah, we actually had to postpone that hearing because the public was not
Prepared.
prepared, or they didn't understand the process of the public hearing, and
Yeah,
they wanted to, ask questions and stuff, and then Tracy came finally back and explained to them it's not ask. You're here to make comments, right? If you have concerns, so they should have read everything prior to. And anyway, it got explained, and then we postponed it and had it again the next month, and then
yeah.
so.
And really what we're going to talk about next, which is the open houses and engagement stages, like that's the community input portion where you have discussion level conversations, questions. Was there an open house for the land use bylaw, or did you guys do like a survey? Okay. So we typically hold open houses when we're drafting planning documents, and those open houses are meant to be informal, non-decision making engagement opportunities. So that's what separates them from the public hearing, and they're designed to gather early public input. So as an outcome of those, Palliser always writes and summarizes what we heard reports and provides those to council. So that helps you guys filter through and make informed decisions. And those are typically run and attended by Palliser administration.
I like that idea, because we could have omitted a lot of that telecommunications stuff if it had been brought up prior to, and then it could have been discussed at that point at the end of the process, right?
Yeah, so we're always available to do open houses for those for sure. That's about telecommunications discussion got quite out of hand in a lot of our ways, open houses and whatnot. I think the ones where we had the conversation at the open house, there's much more understanding when we got to the public stage.
Well, I don't even think when we rescheduled that, we didn't have anybody show up for it.
No,
Yeah,
So we
and that's-
postponed it and spent more money,
yeah.
right? And then nobody even showed up for the second one.
And that's the challenges too with open houses even.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Like we spend a lot of time and effort preparing for open houses, and then we get 2 residents show up that probably we already know for the most part what their opinions are. So they can be hit or miss, but you'd be surprised. Sometimes you get a lot of people coming out to open houses that are interested. So one thing we've been recommending is that councillors are actually encouraged not to attend the public open houses. And that's because it's really the opportunity for administration and Palliser to get feedback on the project from residents. And a key piece of that, council really needs to be speaking and discussing and debating as a whole. What happens at these open houses is councillors get kind of cornered and
Yeah.
pulled away. And you're stuck in these conversations where you're feeling pressured into leaning like you're supporting it one way or the other. And so that creates issues. And by not attending, it really helps to maintain procedural fairness and avoids like the perception of prejudgment on some of these documents. So if a counselor does choose to attend, because I know some counselors struggle with that, they're like, it's an open house, my ratepayers are going to be there, like I need to be there to show that like I'm involved in the project in the community. So if you do feel that way and are going to attend, we always recommend you keep conversations very general and non-committal. Avoid expressing opinions or indicating support one way or the other, and really direct residents and staff or residents to staff in formal feedback channels so that we can make sure we're there and actually getting the input and feedback from those individuals. And maintaining that separation between engagement and decision making really helps reduce appeal risk, and it protects council's ability to make fair and defensible decisions following the public hearing, at the public hearing or in the council meetings. So to end with the Auditing 101 section is a list of council do's and don'ts. So council should act as a whole and not act or speak as individual decision makers. Council wants to rely on approved policies, so your statutory plans and land use bylaws, and not substitute personal opinions for policy. We want to direct developers and applicants to administration or Palliser and not discuss or negotiate proposals privately. That one's pretty important because at times councillors are like, you'll get approached by someone who's interested in doing a project, but at times maybe you don't necessarily understand which steps or which process or who needs to, what steps they need to go through to accomplish that. And people will get pointed in the wrong direction or say, well, council implied that I don't have to do this. So yeah, it's important that you try to push those conversations to administration and even Palliser. You want to ask questions and debate at public council meetings and not discuss application merits outside of the public process. You want to keep an open mind until all information is presented and not prejudge or imply outcome. You want to declare conflicts of interest and not participate when a conflict exists. We want to change policy through formal amendments if direction has changed and not bend the rules to fit a specific proposal. That's how we end up at the Court of Appeal, and that's what can be really costly. So. We want to maintain professional, neutral communications and give impressions and not give impressions of support or so overall good governance means fair process, clear policy, and decisions made in the public. Which gets us to some of the recent projects and maybe a discussion on upcoming. So within the past 4 years, we've helped with your municipal development plan, which was adopted in 2022. And then the Village of Standard Land Use Bylaw, which was done in 2024. And that was a much needed land use bylaw, I think, of that to have things been functioning better since.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's much clearer. Yeah. And yeah, you can't have something in your land use bylaw if you don't even have a definition for it.
Yeah.
And for vice versa, it was just it was awful.
Yeah, for sure. I think I think, and I hope we've cleaned up all of that. I think we'll get a good taste for it in the next year or so when we start issuing permits, and that'll actually be a helpful exercise for us to issue permits using like a few of the municipalities land use bylaws and get a feel for like how effective or what areas we might need further changes on too. So, and then of course the Development Authority pilot project. So really, for the sake of standard, I would actually say you guys are in a pretty good place for your planning documents compared to some of our other municipalities. From our side, there's no, to me, like glaring major project right now. I'm not sure about the talk about an area structure plan at all. I know it sounds like there's some potential subdivision discussions around town. So that's always a consideration as well down the road. Yeah, I think from Palliser's perspective, right now, we're just going to be working on processing the development permits and the subdivision applications. It sounds like there could be a few coming in, and any rezonings. It sounds like there might be a couple of those, but right now we don't have any major projects on the radar. But if there's anything, we're happy to discuss that.
Nice.
That is my portion. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about GIS, unless you guys have any other planning related questions. And how are we doing time wise?
5 to 7.
So,
I'll just jump right in. This shouldn't take all that long.
Okay.
But this is intended just kind of as an introduction to GIS or potentially just a quick refresher for some of those. So quickly, what is GIS? It stands for Geographic Information Systems. And basically what that is doing is taking all the static maps that we have posted on the walls and then combining them into one location and then adding data to all the stuff in the maps. So helping municipalities manage, visualize, and understand information based on location. It takes turning data and turns it into visual and easy to understand information, which is then used to support better planning, service delivery, and decision making. So in simpler terms, GIS answers the question of where and helps explain why the location matters. So quickly, I just wanted to touch on kind of the GIS service summary at Palliser. So there are 3 big pieces of the pie here: planning, development, excuse me, web map, asset management. But we also touch on civic addressing for members, grants and research, and then we do fee for service projects as well. And we do dedicate time to kind of that continual improvement in terms of the web maps. So quickly, the web map, what is it? It is a centralized interactive mapping platform. So it's web-based. You don't have to install any additional software to your machines. It can be accessed from anywhere with a browser, and it can be made accessible to municipal staff, council members, and even the public as well. Different accounts will have different permissions based on what they should be seeing. So we can make those edits and changes as well. And then the web map replaces the static maps that we have, and then with live up-to-date information. So the web map, it's a central hub. There is a lot of information that can be made available in the web map. Currently for the village, you have aerials, property information, planning and land use, civic addressing, and your infrastructure and asset data as well. So with all of this, you can find information very quickly. You can do various types of searches for addressing, parcels, locations, or attributes listed for your assets. Assets within the web map, if you click on them, you can see additional features and details, just additional information for that asset. And you can quickly compare different data sets side by side. So with all of this data in one place, it can help you quickly visualize impacts and contexts, kind of how a development would relate to zoning land use, where infrastructure exists relative to potential growth areas, and then historic versus current conditions using kind of the aerial imagery. So in the web map too, there are tools to kind of help you get more out of your data in there. So analysis tools such as measuring, so you can measure distances and areas directly on the map for things such as lot dimensions, road lengths and buffer areas. You can do markup and annotation, so labeling and highlighting features on the map for potential discussions to share with staff or council. You can create custom maps within the web map as well. And then there also is an auto dial and notification tool. So what this tool allows you to do is just select an area of the village that maybe they're impacted with a water break, and you can just notify those set of ratepayers with either service interruptions or public notices. And this this image is just kind of quickly showing what some users use the tools in Web Map for. So quickly, they just annotate that there's a road closure in this section of road. They've highlighted the actual section that's closed, the distance that is going to be affected, and then from here they can share this as either a link in an email, or they can share it as an actual PDF map or print it out. So another big piece of the web map is the planning and land use data. So every time changes are made to your planning and land use document, those changes are then reflected in the web map. So it makes your land use bylaws, zoning and planning maps, they become interactive. You can explore the regulations geographically, and it can help support interpretations of planning policies. So with all this information available, it can help improve the transparency for council members and the public as well. Another key point of the web map is how it can be used to help in asset management. So quickly, what is asset management? It's basically tracking your infrastructure life cycles. So an asset such as your water hydrants or a water line within the village, knowing the location of it, the current condition, and having a general idea of when it needs to be repaired or replaced. So this is really good for helping with context for potential maintenance planning, capital funding, and funding discussions as well. So it really helps the village kind of ensure that proactive approach versus a reactive approach in terms of infrastructure management. So some tools available in the web map that can help with this. You can create and edit data as it gets updated. So as things change, you can reflect it in the web map so it stays up to date. You can create and manage asset inspections. So if you have staff members that go and inspect a certain asset in the village, they can track those assets and keep track of those within the web map. And you can also begin to add imagery to create historic records as well. The mouse doesn't like me anymore.
Battery dead or something?
I'm not sure.
Here, let me take it. There you go.
There we go. So quickly, this is just showing how some basic asset information is tracked in the web map. So really quickly, this user has a hydrant highlighted. They've inspected the condition. Inspected or listed the inspection dates, the make, model, and then the actual install date as well. So this can help for funding and planning discussions, knowing all of this information, just kind of having a really good idea of when this asset might need to be replaced. So let's start. No, still isn't. And then kind of GIS across Palliser. So the web map is the really big kind of focal point in terms of GIS. But we do kind of lurk in the background helping the other departments as well. So integrations across Palliser in terms of planning, subdivisions, development, and safety codes. So we help in other aspects such as land use and policy mapping, statutory plan prep and engagement, the landowner circulations, mapping support for site context on proposals, infrastructure and servicing, and permit address validation. So one thing we do like to highlight too is we can kind of expand your internal GIS capacity. So helping to expand internal GIS capacity with trainings. So getting staff members more familiar with the web map and allowing them to kind of get the most out of the data that's in there. And helping to lower operational overhead. So we can help out in terms of, instead of hiring a new GIS staff or another staff member that has expertise in that, we can kind of step in and help when those bigger projects or tasks are needed, so. Then, yeah, the last point I just want to touch on quickly, just the regional collaboration aspect. So in terms of GIS, we kind of share or the cost efficiencies aspect. So, for example, last year we did an aerial imagery procurement project. So aerial imagery that gets flown via planes. We got a contractor for that one. And then because we came at them with so many members that were interested, we were able to get kind of the bulk rate for that. And then share the cost savings across all members. There's also data consistency. So across the region, there's shared data standards. So everyone's kind of using that shared data metric for their data. And then helping again with cross-boundary coordination, knowledge sharing, and then kind of scaling and future growth. So you could move it forward. Thank you. And then the GIS kind of at Palliser and the web in particular is designed to be an evolving tool. So as the municipality changes, as your data changes, as your land use bylaws change, the web map is designed to grow with it. So it stays up to date with all the changes within the municipality. It can be a tool that's used to kind of enhance transparency and communication. So data can be made available to kind of answer some basic questions for ratepayers and then show them information firsthand. And then there's always ongoing support and resources. So we offer trainings either in person or virtual, as well as additional resources to make sure users are getting the most out of the web map. And then, yeah, this one, if you just click it twice, it'll, yeah, big arrow in the middle. So if you want to go find the web map on the Palliser website, it'll be right in the middle on the home page. If you click it once more, there's just additional resources kind of in the top user bar. And then so there you'll find some videos and additional resources just on how to get the most out of the web map. And then last, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always,
I'm so sorry.
all good. Yeah, you can always just reach out.
Awesome.
There you go. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Do you have any questions in terms of GIS or web map or?
I think that was a really good move that we did on that web map from GIS because I direct residents to it all the time. Just go on our GIS. You can log in as a guest. You don't have to. They don't have access to the back end stuff, but they can go and see their property. They can map out what they want to do and
Saves a lot of time.
oh yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, instead of just on
Yes.
So,
a
town guy.
on a piece of paper, yeah. Yeah, no, you can definitely, the aerial view comes every time we do it, it gets better and better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a new, we're trying a different company this time, so
Yeah.
hopefully it's even better, maybe is not optimistic.
How often is it updated?
The last one was in 2019. It really depends when municipalities are ready to pay for it, I guess, so. And the way it's updated is once we hear from enough municipalities kind of poking and prodding, asking when aerials are gonna come, then we get everyone together and say, okay, are we ready to take it on as a group? And then we go, yes. Let's see. Yeah, even by doing it all together, we're saving mobilization costs. So every time that plane leaves the ground, now they're hitting Rockyford as our standard in the same day instead of just one.
One village at a time.
Yeah, it's smart.
Cost efficient.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you guys for
Thank
having
you.
us on. Hopefully, it wasn't too much information.
Don't forget your salad.
Oh, yeah.
I probably have to take my seat with me too.
Yeah, soup, and then there's lots of sandwiches there if you need for the road.
With these plates.
Oh, just, I'll take it.
Yeah, you guys can take 5 if you
Yeah.
want small. Then we'll get going.
Thanks.
Oh,
Just do these cucumbers. Thank you so
Oh, yeah.
much.
no problem. Thanks for coming out.
Compliments to the chef.
There you go. Good enough.
Well, it wasn't me, it was my mom.
I
She
know.
runs the Usenet concession,
There we go.
the one and only restaurant in town. Yeah. Oh. well, If I'm not here, I'm there.
That's why you always go to get your coffee. That's why I was like, wow, you really support it. No, you're getting them for free from mom.
Well, yes.
Okay, that's a smart move, yes.
So yeah, I call her the little Jen. Yeah. Little Jen.
How long have you been?
Going on about 4 months now. So,
Yeah.
I started election day.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a fun part.
Oh, I know.
Well, yeah, but then you continue on the project because she took all the information down. Now she's got to go back and put it back in the, at Elections Alberta, upload the new information.
I should really get on that. I think we need to do that. It was 15th?
26th of March.
Okay.
Has to be done by.
So I got a month
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, I'll have to think
Too much repeat for them, but
no, I don't think we've ever really had a planning, really like to sit down and, discuss the statutory plans and all that stuff. They have them in their books, actually, the MDP plan and
Oh, yeah.
everything and.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right.
Uh-oh, should I leave?
No, it was, oh, it was just, street addresses, so I guess. How long does it take when you send you a street address to change that it goes to the, like when you flip it to, so it goes to the emergency management, so
Yeah.
they get the right address? Is that almost automatic or only every once in a while?
I'd have to double check, but
Okay.
like as soon as I submit it to AMDSP.
Yeah.
It's available for like the emergency
Oh,
agents,
okay.
what if they can get it right away,
Oh, okay,
depending on how long it takes them to update theirs.
okay,
I know some of like the, I guess, more important ones, I would say, like emergency services are typically pretty prompt in
Okay.
terms of, or like I would say consistent in terms of their updates.
okay,
But I don't have an exact date.
oh, okay,
I can look into it.
okay. Cause I thought it was like maybe it was, done every once in a while, so,
I think I'm fairly confident that emergency services is quite frequent,
okay,
just to make sure they're capturing all those
Okay.
updates.
Is this
Yeah.
decaf?
sorry.
No, it's okay.
Coffee, decaf coffee to go.
I'm the only one that's going to drink coffee at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, guess we can slide this. back
Oh, yeah, I'm
down,
gonna take care of this.
Back down to her.
I don't remember.
And then the actual council meeting starts?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Shh.
I noticed that light is still on and I replaced that battery.
Oh, what was that? Oh,
On that alarm.
oh, is it, okay.
It's still on.
Okay.
Now where are you off to next?
Drumheller, and then hand in the morning?
Drumheller tonight?
Yeah.
I wonder if that battery-
Yeah, hand in the morning. And then we have next week for orientation, but constant flow.
Yeah. Yeah, that time of year, I guess, right?
I think next week's veteran and painter.
Yeah. So I see that she has.
Nice. Let me get rid of one chair.
Okay, we can, that one, I can take.
Which one?
That's not the one, that's Shelley's I brought in here.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
I'll do that one.
You go that way?
Yeah.
You make up your mind.
So it's going to do, yes.
I know.
This one. All right.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'll have to come up with a project for them to do.
I don't really need to bring that every meeting. Do I?
No, but very soon, hopefully I'll get something ordered here, so.
Yeah, sooner than later now.
Well,
I'm just gonna remove this. from the computer, Send it off to the side.
Don't forget it.
I'm gonna take it home.
what's that mouse?
You have the agendas and stuff.
Oh my gosh. That's what I meant.
Well, what are you doing, sir? Good.
Yeah, I'm all right. Just gonna be tapped out in meetings here real soon.
Yeah, we got another one tomorrow, no?
Another one tomorrow, and then I got one starting at 5 on Monday and going to probably 11. Well, no, 10 probably. And then one on Thursday again.
Wow.
And then,
Full schedule, man.
and then that's the most meetings I've had in a month. Yeah,
Yeah,
is this month
yeah, it's quite a bit, eh?
in a dozen years.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, it's 9 meetings
that is quite a few.
in 28 days.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't normally get like this. You joined the fire department yet?
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah,
I think it's so cool,
I
man.
figured you're having fun down there the other night.
Honestly, I was so, honestly, it's great. It's my jam.
That's good.
It's my jam.
I've been doing,
I love to get involved.
I started in what I figured out the other night when we were there, 93. When I started down there,
Mhm.
well, actually it was up here.
Yeah, okay.
And then we built that and moved down
Yeah,
there.
moved down.
Now I'm just I kind of retired from down there and I went down, started working in Rocky Ford and we needed daytime numbers, so. Now I'm on over there and I was, to be honest with you, kind of enjoying retirement from it, so. It's, you get to a certain age and it's just tough to do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are.
Well, the hard part is when you find yourself getting desensitized to everybody.
That's right. The minute you get desensitized,
Yeah,
I
it's
was,
time to factor in, and that's my opinion, but
I was always told by one guy, says, the moment it doesn't bother you, it's time to get out,
that's right.
you know?
Yeah.
And the last one I did on the department here was a fairly bad accident. Brian, it just stuck with me.
no,
Thank you.
you,
You did great.
yeah, well, we ended up going to Fox Street Cave for 2 days.
Las Vegas.
And they had that fire up there and then evacuation from there to Peace River. And I tell you what, that was, I was a little bit apprehensive to go because I was 58 or whatever at the time.
It's acting up. I brought two.
Nine,
That's fair.
but, you know, I'm really glad I did because it was an experience that I'll never forget. I got some amazing pictures hanging on the wall downstairs from up there. Just coolest thing ever. Yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah, it was. I got pictures sometime. I got pictures on my phone.
Is there anybody online?
Oh, I definitely will.
Nope.
Okay. You're watchers.
Okay, I'm gonna call the meeting to order.
17.
So the only agenda addition is the letter that I asked Yvette to put in, and we'll talk about it later. So if somebody would like to adopt the agenda with addition,
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda with additions.
all in favor? Carried. Done with them. Administration report, Public Works, Village 3/4 ton.
Guess that would be me. So, as per request, I got some quotes here. I don't know, you guys should have a spreadsheet. So I picked I have a bunch more than this, but these are the better ones that it's a bunch.
It's for Brandon.
They make the most sense.
Oh, I printed it from home.
So we'll start at the first page, I believe should be a 2026 GMC CR 2500 Tour Cab Pro. This one's from Strathmore Motor Products. Now, they're able to offer us a $10,000 discount via the municipality, which went back into to get a fleet number for us. They were able to apply that, which would make this the best candidate for us, being money and preference wise and vehicle performance. The next one on the list would be a 26 Ram Express,
That's the last one.
2500. That's the last page.
Last
Okay.
page, yeah.
So I don't have the same ones you guys.
This is your second pick, this one?
That cost wise,
The tradesman?
yeah, nope. The
Oh,
Express.
sorry, yeah.
So those are the two best buys. The Chevy being this one and then the Dodge being second. I've also had Jeff Carter. They also had some 2025 units. That's the second page. Those are being able to offer us at 0% financing, 72-month term. The terms and financing are on the right-hand column. Buyout payment is basically on your left hand. That should be highlighted. And any discounts applied, that will be highlighted too.
So Strathmore, who did you the $10,000 municipal?
So he went back into his paperwork and was able to find a number.
It was Strathmore.
Strathmore Motor Products, yeah. Just because he's dealt with the county so often before. Anyone else we bring these fleet numbers up to?
So I gotta ask the question. So, because he's dealt with the county, we are not county.
I know, we're using the county number.
Yeah, he's done it. That's how we bought that fire truck. That 3/4 ton or whatever it is using that number. And that's what he's going by.
Okay, I'm not getting.
And he
So if
thought
he's-
about it, but he's decided, it's just a number, I'm doing it.
So if he makes it work on his end, that's the truck.
I just had to ask. the
Yeah,
question.
absolutely. And I get that. So those two make the most sense money wise. There's another Pro that's a 2026. That's also at Jack Carter.
I think that's on the first.
That's basically the exact same truck that Strathmore Motor Products has. It's just Jack Carter.
We
That
don't get the $10,000
No.
discount.
no one else has applied that discount. We tried. Everyone I talked to about fleet numbers and discounts, and they don't recognize the Canoe program. And this was the only dealership that actually dug into the work and went back through to find out if we can actually apply that. He says he can, so you don't take in his word. My personal preference is the one from Strathmore Motor Products. My second personal preference is also sticking with the GMC Pro from Jack Carter. My third preference would be the Dodge Ram. And the only reason why I say that is because the Dodge Ram 6.4 is all the Dodge Hemis are known for a thing called a Remy tick. And they're constantly known for blowing keeping the exhaust bolts off the back of the head. So that's a major issue. And also being a cylinder deactivation engine, it doesn't like idle time. Chevy, recognizing how their 5.3s and their 4.8s, they also have that same lifter tick issue, but on the 6.6 engine, because they're trying to make it so it's more economical in line with the diesel engine, but a gas route you can go. They went back to the old style, and it's basically the only engine they don't offer with the engine, the cylinder displacement. So it's always running as a V8. It's never going to knock down.
What size engine is in the?
In the Chevy, it's a 6.6. In the Dodge Ram, it's a 6.4. Chevy also too, you get a 10-speed transmission, which is the Allison transmission, then the 8-speed, which there's also issues with. Ram has issues with.
Which one was your second choice again?
It would be the Ram, it'd be the Pro from Jack Carter. And then, but if we had to go, if we're just going based on numbers and cost, it would be the Ram would be my second choice. But if personal preference, I prefer the Chevy.
The sheet has majority confused. They're the same truck twice on the front.
That's because this one here, this is with the discounts applied, and the other one is without the discount. If we just.
So the one in the box is the same
Yeah,
company.
this is exact same
Okay,
truck.
okay,
Fair enough.
okay, now I got it.
I was doing the same thing. Not gonna
Rita,
lie.
was it the only one?
Yeah, no, I was right there too.
That's-
And my apologies, I thought we put a front out.
No, it's all good, it's all good.
No, we're just looking at monthly payments.
Yeah, that makes the most sense financially is the one from Stradlin Water Products. Being that we get to pin that, which he says we will.
Get it in writing.
Warranties. Dodge has a 6-year, 160,000 kilometer limited powertrain. The Chevy has a 5-year, 100,000 powertrain component and a 3 years, 60,000 complete. Like anything happens, it escapes the whole engine. And then 6 year on the 6 years are 160,000 kilometers on the sheet metal. That's the only one I've ever seen not for on sheet metal.
Volkswagen used to do it, but yeah. And that's on the Pro.
Yeah.
Can we do it money wise? My question.
Well, that one there that he's looking at is through our bank ATB financing. And even so, it can still come out of our operating, even if we were to pay. We could pay cash for it if we wanted to. but
Cash prices actually would be 70,356. We bought it outright.
Yeah, I saw that and noticed that.
Mhm. So that we can discuss after and. Is the half ton is on the 6.4 on the agenda, so.
Okay,
Think about it for
Yeah.
a little bit, and then
Yeah.
when it comes up on the agenda, then we can.
I didn't supply any trailer quotes because I figured we put the horse before the cart kind of thing.
Yeah.
And once we have the truck, then I'll supply quotes for the trailer.
I kind of wish you would have done both. But that's okay. Because we're gonna need it sooner than.
Are we gonna put some lights and stuff on this truck? That'll be an add-on to,
Kind of like,
it's like a emergency lights,
No,
whatever,
I don't think we.
on this new 3/4 ton. We're just gonna have the blinking bulb on top like we do now.
No, he's not.
we have the blinking bulb, we plug in.
So I'm not sure on the,
Like, you know, it's gonna cost a couple grand for that, right? I'm just putting it out there.
I'm not sure on the GMC Pro. So a lot of the newer GMC trucks have all the marker lighting on the side. So you see them over the fender wells. You see them on the other side.
Yeah.
So the Chevys don't have that, but I noticed the GMCs do, and this is a GMC, but I don't know being the Pro, if it's gonna have that. That might be a higher trim level to get that. But
I don't,
safety lights, we can just throw a revolving light on top of it. Worst case scenario, reflective tape.
it can be an add-on in another year if you want.
I already have a revolving light. So
Yeah.
Two, we gotta,
decals are like probably about $70.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about like the full light bar.
Well, I kind of was kind of thinking, no?
No.
What the,
Overkill,
okay. That's fine.
It's
I
a,
think.
it's a big cost, and then if somebody goes under a tree or branch or something that catches it,
Yeah, good enough.
then you start doing damage.
Yeah, I started looking into the pricing of some of those and they're up there being LED.
Everything's LED now, yeah.
I mean, if
What
we're,
about backup beepers?
That I don't know. I don't think it does.
They're cheap.
They're like 60.
yeah, those you can just,
Yeah.
you can actually have those that'll actually just, your wiring harness will split, you can plug it in.
Yeah.
And for LED lights, we can,
Yeah.
or for,
Yeah, because we,
All the Husky guys have-
we gotta be safe too.
Yeah.
Just food for thought, right?
oh, we gotta be compliant.
For sure.
Yeah, our old half ton didn't have that, but the dump truck does have that. Where half ton.
Well, Ocean has fun with that.
But they also have ones where they also, you can just stick it right in. It's actually part of the one.
It's a temperature.
Yeah.
So it's light bulb too.
I think we
That
can-
light bulb engages.
We can figure that out after.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, I'm just kind of hoping.
Personal preference goes.
This is personal preference number two?
No, that's cost preference.
Okay, okay.
Okay, well, it's coming up later in the, it gives us some time to think about it.
Okay. That's all.
That was it for you?
Good for me.
This is cost.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And this is just, I was.
Yeah, no, it's good now that I got that part straight, I'm good.
Okay.
And then the third tape.
Yeah, see, I'm not even kidding. I even wrote the few down, see? I was like,
Duty
what?
contract, that's, preference number two.
Feel like looking at
That's
the
personal preference number two.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was just like, what's
You
going
got
on?
number one, I think feels number one pick here, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's okay,
Yeah,
it's all good.
one's got a good
Got-
discount, the other one no.
Got my old line straightened out now. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
All right, thank
Moving
you.
on.
You too.
Moving on to office.
Everything was in the package, so, you can- the only thing I will report on in strategic planning was the solar project is now gone through with Fortis.
Well, finally,
They've approved everything, so
so now what?
now it just goes to permitting and all that stuff, so basically we'll be discussing this after.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
so, but it's in my report, then, Laura, I guess you could report a little bit on yours. So it wasn't in the package when they got it earlier.
Yeah, I guess I did put that on this morning. For the most part, biggest thing was, one of the smoke complaints that we've had the last couple months with one of the residents, and Park Enterprises has given a stop order on them these last 2 weeks ago, I think now. And they've now been in the process of filing permits and ordering inspections. The resident has, for the accessory shed, saw, whatever you want to call it.
yeah. The fire trap.
Mm.
So until those inspections are done, where it's kind of a waiting game. Oh, and as well, I don't know if this is supposed to be on camera or not for municipal acquisition. This one here. With the quotes.
Oh, yeah, so we've been getting some costs on demolition, but nothing serious. Well, like, we got one serious quote.
That's down there.
Yeah.
That should be in camera, probably, should it not?
It's just municipal acquisition, so.
Okay.
No.
But if we're gonna go
we're
any
still,
further,
yeah,
we're still looking into it.
yeah,
Okay.
still looking
Okay.
into it, yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'll see there, so.
Okay.
And then I guess one more thing to report, the newsletter's doing well.
Nice.
So can I see we're putting Rosebud stuff on, like, why can't we, talk to Hazar and Rocky
So
Ford
I actually do want to start talking to them
and
as
start
well.
putting their upcoming stuff? If we're gonna do it for one neighboring community, we should.
Why
do it
not do
for-
them all? And that's what I was thinking, because I've noticed as well, the legal, that's how I've been printing them, is on a legal sheet of
Yeah.
paper. It's almost getting too small.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if potentially a tabloid folded in half to make it actually look like a newspaper
Or trifold.
or trifold.
Yeah,
Or,
I just had seen we started putting Rosebud, and I thought, well, why can't we advertise for everybody's coming events too, right? It just helps out the neighbors.
yeah.
So you get both sides.
Oh, yeah. It's legal both sides and it's good enough quite.
No, looks
Good for
good.
you, good for you.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's about it.
So you want to move to adopt 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3?
Make the motion.
Everybody's racing for it, all in favor.
I saw Rich, which, I was like,
I was gonna go, but go ahead.
5.1,
Yep.
performance anxiety, I know.
January 14th, regular council meeting minutes. Anybody see anything in there? We want to move to adopt.
I'll move to adopt.
All in favor? Carried. January 27th, special budget meeting with MPE. We want to make. We want to move. Brian,
Yep, sure.
all in favor, carried. Unfinished business, community standard bylaw.
I just have a note here from, just give me a second here. Oh, no, sorry, not going to make, okay. So Brandon did send, he wasn't sure if he was gonna be able to log into the meeting or not, but he obviously can't right now. And he just requested that if we could leave the dog bylaw, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we
I read
can,
it.
But all of these, we were just going to second reading, so we can actually.
we
if
can
you
do
wanna
the
say-
second reading and
Or table it. and
we can
do
table it.
second.
It's no big deal.
Yeah. And just table it and come
You
back.
want
and
to
do-
table all of them?
I'm thinking yes.
Somebody wanted to move to table. Do you want to do them all separately or
Separately, please. Yeah.
6.1?
I'll move to
All in favor? Carried. 6.2.
Pick a name.
now they're racing for it.
Richard, Brian, Richard, whichever. All in favor.
Richard.
Yeah, he's looking, you can see both of them, and it was pretty much exactly at the same time.
Yeah.
Master rates bylaw. I'll move to do that one.
Yeah.
All in favor? Carried. Village half-ton quotes, well, I have an opinion. I would rather, if we have the operating money, I would rather buy it than spend interest on a truck. That's my feeling.
I'm good either way. I'm on the fence. If we can afford it,
Well, if we have the money, that's what why would we?
well, it depends what we're making in the bank on interest on our money. Because if we're making more in interest, like this is why I'm financing a car, even though I don't have to.
Mhm.
I'm making more money from my investor than my loan is. My loan is gonna be 3.4%. I'm making 12% of my investment. So I'm saving about $3,000 every 3 years.
I don't think we're making 12%.
No, we're not.
Okay.
This is me talking.
You're an investor.
I'll give you his card.
Yeah,
Um,
it's everybody else's.
I'll just pass this up. Just hang on, this is coming up for project, but there's a sheet there that you can look at for cash in the bank right now. That top one you can look at.
Restricted reserve, 90-day demand.
Yeah, so there's,
Thank you.
we don't need, no restricted reserves, we don't have to worry about that, but you can see, that the money that you do have in the bank, okay? So currently sitting in our operating, is 460,000.
Okay, my only two thoughts were, one, I'd be very apprehensive of the Dodge, as you're saying, with the issues with it. I like the GMC, the Pro, and the fact that Strathmore Motors is still willing to acknowledge to work with us to do our local stuff. The other thing is, can we write off the interest or anything, or can we do it because we're a municipal?
The only thing we get back is
Is
the
it GST, and
GST.
this does not include GST, correct?
Yeah, so any numbers that you see,
And
I've
that's our,
omitted,
yeah, I figured
Because
that.
it's-
I've
it'll get
omitted
back.
all of the
Yeah.
GST.
Okay,
Yeah, we get,
Not hard numbers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I took the quotes that James had and I had to physically remove all of the GST,
Mhm.
and those are the numbers that you're
but
seeing.
we'll get it back.
Fair, fair,
so just when you know, when we do any quotes, it never includes GST.
fair enough.
So you see exactly what.
Exactly what we're
Yeah.
gonna pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what our out of pocket
Because
is.
GST for some of us or projects can be a lot, so don't even take it into
Yeah, I-
consideration.
I think if we can do the cash, and as you said, we're not doing the interest on the financing or anything else.
It's gonna save us a bit of money. Actually,
That does.
Yeah, and it's not gonna be detrimental to anything
There you go.
else.
seems like a no-brainer.
Plus, it'd be nice to have a truck that's actually gonna, run properly for a few years here. I mean, in comparison to the Ford, come on, let's be real here, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Let's be honest,
Yeah, no,
and dependability is a big part of it too.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, and yeah, because we were saying that the other overheard it. You know, oh, the village has to do that. Oh, we can't. They don't have a truck. Oh, that do that. Oh, they don't have a vehicle.
I know,
You know.
we need to start eliminating those things so
It-
we can
it-
get things done that we need to get done.
Yeah, and
for
it
everybody.
it visibly it makes us, you know, not look very professional organized.
Well, how can we send him anywhere, you know, if he's gonna run to Strathmore for stuff or whatever, how can we send him anywhere in an unreliable vehicle, right?
Exactly.
We can't,
We
and
can't.
the compromisation of safety is out the window as well, you know what I mean?
And yeah, I'd just like to find something for summer students to run around in other than a brand new truck, because I've seen the way they drive sometimes and it doesn't impress me much, so.
Well, they should be on tractors. That's what they're supposed to be on.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my only concern is,
Well, we can always set a policy.
well,
for-
it's up to,
Yeah.
it's not up to us.
No, but I mean,
Yeah, you just drop them off and pick them up.
Yeah, it's up
No,
to
council
James.
can set policies that,
Mhm.
that nobody,
We
Um,
But there's gonna be times with weed whackers and stuff, right?
Yeah, there's always issues.
But
Yeah,
that
but
might
there-
be for.
Yeah.
It might be drop them off with their
Well, you see
mixed
that all the
fuel
time.
and their, yeah, and that's probably the way it should be.
yeah, let's be honest.
So then they get a hold of cell phones and they've got a breakdown, they just give you a call.
Yeah.
and you go.
Yeah, but the village isn't that big also.
No.
They gotta go somewhere, something to kill them, to
Yeah.
walk 2 blocks or 3.
No, but you're not gonna expect them to carry a 5-gallon jerry can and a weed
No.
whacker
No.
from memory lane.
I-
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not. I wouldn't want to impose that. on anyone.
No, but I mean,
I
if
have
they have
6
an
kids
issue.
that want some,
Yeah.
6 kids, so they're not gonna fit in that truck anyway.
Anyway,
so-
that was the only concern I had.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, the other
So-
thing that I appreciate too is that, I mean, I'm in agreement. I don't see why we should be throwing away money on taxes and interest and all that fun
Mhm.
stuff. If we have the funds available right now and we can purchase outright, let's do that, in my opinion. I think it'd be silly not to.
well. We
Somebody-
make the motion and we
Motion,
can
yeah.
have more discussion, because I have a question,
Okay,
I'll make a motion
Brian.
to accept,
to
to
purchase.
purchase outright.
The Pro 2500.
2500 crew cab pro from Strathmore Dodge.
No, Strathmore Motor Pro.
Oh, Strathmore Motor Products.
Likes your tongue.
Strathmore Motor Products, sorry.
At the cost of
Um,
$70,356.46.
I think we need to include the discount in that motion.
That's what he just said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
including the discount being that the total number should be 70356.46. Less GST.
Or not including,
Sorry, not including.
something like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
to
Two
purchase,
faculties, right?
Yeah.
for,
Ouch.
Oh my god, it's been just. Like on it, I can't feel my fingers. It's numb.
No.
Yeah, because if we purchase outright, we're saving, it's over 10,000.
Yeah. Well, we're actually saving 20,
Yeah,
because we're getting that 10 grand off the.
that's, yeah.
It's a pretty darn good deal for 3/4 ton
Well,
truck.
that's why I mean, like.
So we have a
go-
motion. Do you want to
Yeah.
read the motion?
so moved by Brian Peterson to purchase from Strathmore Motor Products, the 2500 crew cab pro for 70,356.46. We'll just do the whole
Okay.
amount.
All in favor? Carried. So my question is the old truck. Where is it? What is it just still sitting at Monty's and nothing's happened to it?
No, I
or-
think currently it's sitting in the shop.
So it is not running.
No,
I think it's,
It can be
it'll start and
pieced,
stuff.
it could be pieced.
Well, that's what
out.
I was gonna make the next motion is to sell the Ford, the 2007 Ford listed as is.
You wanna let's sell it outright from here, or do you wanna take it to an auction?
I would be adverse to take to an auction
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
You gotta have to haul it there.
even if you do, yeah, but even if you do Regal auction is the best one and they won't take it unless you do it no reserve.
Yeah.
And if you sell it no reserve, you get, if it goes for $5, it goes for $5.
Yeah.
But if you sell it without releasing any information you have on it, they get it and the transmission craps out, they can come back.
What would that truck be worth? Not running,
Cash in hand.
cash in hand.
$500,
Yeah,
$1,000.
About $1,000.
That's
cash
what I
in
do.
hand. Honestly, between us, $1,000.
It's
I
probably high.
think we take that money and run.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we list the Ford for sale for $1,000 a wheel.
We need to do the first motion first.
We did already.
Yeah,
You Made the motion, everybody
Yeah, we
carried
voted.
it over.
Yeah,
so-
We carry.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
That's why I went to the next one. Because I didn't want to forget it and I want it gone.
Right, so you made that motion?
Yeah.
To sell. 2007,
As is.
Where it is.
as is. Okay.
All in favor? Carried. MP projects 2026.
Okay, so I gave you part of what I had started with here. Just so you had the numbers of what was in the bank account, so Martin asked to see what everybody was paying in property taxes, so I divided it up between project A, B, C, and D, exactly like how MPE had it listed on the map. And then the other sheet gave you your numbers that were in the bank, okay?
Yeah.
So right now, can't see it on the sheet, sorry, because it didn't print color, but you have the funding for 2026, which we are still waiting to find out with the CCBF. And then you have your funding for 2027, that possibly could use, okay? So,
What's our total?
the total, that you could have for your project would be, 2.3 million, but that's using your line of credit, that's using everything that's in your operating right now. So,
Yeah.
That's smashing the piggy bank.
So with,
if you're looking for just your projects,
without that line of credit and
yeah,
all of our
Sorry.
money, then what's that number?
you are looking at, sorry, there was another column there and it's not in there. So 319, 362 and 317, 107, and the other one. Oh, black.
Dick?
my nose is draining into my throat.
Wow,
Very descriptive.
sounds nice.
Oh, it's
I
fantastic.
guess I shouldn't have asked, eh?
Not too sure. Was it cold or allergies? Or both?
I think if anything, it's allergies, weather change.
You're gonna get sick.
I don't get sick. No self-respecting German here this morning. That's why I keep so healthy.
It's the Clee Victorian child.
Yeah. Pretty much.
You're looking at 1.1 million using your LGFF and CCBF from 2024 to 2027. So this is just a little something I did extra. I threw this into AI and I told it to compare and prioritize projects, and this is what it gave me, just those four words. This is the list it gave me in prioritizing those projects.
You suck. Need four, these here, 1, 2.
So, and again, it was all listed out. This exact list this is what I threw in there, and that's what it gave me. So it says B, A, D, and then C, because C is strategic and long-term.
Sorry, B-A,
C and D,
thank you.
that's the priority.
Oh, yeah,
It-
there's some back.
yeah.
So our actual costs for D come in less than $1 million now
D
for Main
is,
Street?
that's what it was on MPE's
So
sheet.
it was like 1.2, was it not?
Let me,
Yeah.
that was
That's
on
one
point Chris's sheet.
1.2.
7?
Somewhere.
Oh, D, 1 point.
I didn't believe that was from last thing.
Yes, D is, ABCD is 1.2. Did I put the wrong number? Oh, I did, sorry. I put 945, it is supposed to be 1.2. Oh, sorry. Oh. The project B. Let's see, this is what happens. Oh, I got the two mixed up, sorry. The two numbers are one's up, should be the other one, sorry.
So project
D-
B,
Yeah, sorry,
Okay,
I just noticed that now.
so B should be the 945 and D should be the
Yeah.
one.
1.2,
Okay, so those are just X'd out.
because B is 945. And that is the one that is, comes in highly strong.
okay, sorry. Could you reiterate that one more time? My apologies. Kind of got lost there. I'm just trying to get an order of operations here as it was projected.
Yeah, so so B,
Yeah, is the first, okay?
in doing research, says it's the most, how do you say this? Amount of work that needs to be done, right? That has the most
Later.
area of deterioration in the infrastructure.
Okay.
Because residents have replaced the sewer line themselves because they were not waiting any longer.
Mhm.
There's still chronic problems with certain residents where the sewer line keeps backing up because it's all clay.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, just a second.
You are in.
Who loves me?
You're grounded.
Somebody loves me.
You're grounded.
Yep, you're grounded.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so project
Yeah.
B was,
So it was B,
Oh,
then,
here,
then,
remember the map here. Yeah, oh, sorry, this is probably why you're trying to figure out which is which. So,
well, no, I'm trying to eliminate it right here because I was
Okay.
just trying to see what your options were because you have them listed here. I just wanted to see what the priority was that was projected by our AI.
oh, it was, it's at the bottom, second page.
At the bottom, second page.
Well, it's sort of in the middle, prioritize
B,
running
A, D, okay.
It says prioritize.
B, A.
based on infrastructure risk, grant eligibility, debt servicing,
Okay.
alignment.
and what was D, Rep? On your map?
B
B
is
is
Frederick
correct.
Ave. Yeah,
First to second,
that would be, yeah, first to second.
yeah. B,
Be the yellow.
then,
Be the yellow.
Yeah,
B, then, what was it? Oh, sorry. B, A, D, and C. B, A.
Yeah, makes sense. But you think you just want to go E. You kind of do, you're doing a chunk and leaving it.
Sorry,
I know.
which I don't
I
like.
wish I hadn't.
No, I don't
stuck
like
with
doing
two
that
numbers.
either. I would rather be able to do the whole two blocks at the same time.
What would be the cost? Do we possibly squeeze that in to the two ones?
But remember the one
Right
piece,
now.
the one, okay,
No,
so the
currently
post
it's below
office to
budget.
First, there might be some remediation in there that we're not aware of either, right?
Yeah,
That's the scary part too.
yeah. Yeah, because of leaching, right? It's not necessarily gonna all leach to the south.
And wasn't there also, wasn't it notarized that those tanks were removed?
They were removed.
They were, but there's no idea,
Yeah,
no
I
place
remember
of
reading
bleaching.
that, yeah.
What's the green for,
That would be the main drag, the Broadway.
yeah, what's that one? Is that one A?
That's D.
That's
D?
D, yeah, as in Daniel.
And that's the last one.
So,
Third one, sorry.
oh, okay, sorry,
Sorry,
I'll
was
just
first.
pass this around because this was Brandon's message here, because he did, I'll let you read it.
Okay.
Yeah, I read it.
Did it well for you or should I screw it up?
No, he's texted it, did he not, or emailed it to us?
Email it.
Email today, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he just wanted you guys to know what he had changed his mind on the project he was looking at.
So B's.
I remember seeing that, but I'd like to read that again when you're done.
No, you haven't seen this, but
Oh, I haven't seen
no, that just came in today.
I got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, then I'd like to read it.
No.
But I was hoping he was going to be on the meeting today, but he's not, obviously not. But yeah, so like I just put in those 4 words, compare and prioritize projects. And I had just given that information the way it was there, except for those 2 were mistaken, but there was nothing to do with costing in there.
Have the money for. That's number for B.
Have you read that?
So
Well,
have
I'll
that
read
money.
it again here, yeah.
We can afford
I
it.
thought I saw
We
an
can
email
look-
somewhere.
we
Yes, I
can
did.
look at that one, yeah.
This one would be a squeeze.
And you wouldn't want to consider just doing the underground for all of Frederick and leave the paving for another time? Well, it's better than what they got now. There's already, well, how much of it was already gravel from them digging across? 1, 2. There's 2 strips there currently,
Yeah,
right? Because we patched everything else up. We didn't do those because we figured we were going to be tearing up soon.
Yeah.
So.
you all right?
Okay. So his opinion, take care of the residents most in need and favoring tender for work on Frederick from post office to 2nd Street. I mean, we could put the tender out for all of Frederick, A and B.
I don't know, I get AI and I understand it, but we had started. The Broadway was at the top of our list, what, 7 years ago or whatever,
Well, because it's centennial.
and then we put it back. And then we're gonna put it back again.
Be back to the producers.
I would have missed.
But
Well, I'm just talking
the
about
the
the
majority of the residents, most of the residents are in that Frederick 1st to 2nd.
Mhm.
There's a lot of houses there.
That includes both sides, correct?
Right.
Do we have a count on those houses? No?
And then when I look at, well, the other post office to Frederick, well, you don't have anything happening at Reliable Motors. We'd have to do the old hall, has to get the Because it wasn't done in the first phase,
No.
because the curb stop is on the other side. Post office was done, so you're only looking at so many residents there. And we kind of looked in the book, the snake has never gone out to any resident in that section that I'm aware of. It's the other side of Frederick that is always, we had Barry Van Laar, he replaced his water sewer because he was here every other week getting the snake.
Is that why they pay more
Reagan's-
taxes?
I don't know.
Because you got the water line
Reagan's, before Christmas, I told him just keep the snake, because they're chronic, sewer backup, their clay pipe is basically, it's collapsed, right? So, do you want to, we can think about it some more, because we were gonna talk about having another budget meeting. Needs, we should, huh?
Well, I do too. It'd be kind of, yeah.
The only thing I'm torn on is I do like, I hate to say it, I do like Chat GPT because it gives an unbiased,
Mhm.
strictly number crunching thing. However, from the other aspect is the Broadway has been on the books or on the agenda for a long time
Because of Centennial.
because it's a centennial, but we still,
It's the hub of the town.
Yeah.
it's the hub of the town, and if we're trying to attract, if we're trying to attract businesses that into town, it's kind of gets the purpose. Well, this is the, pothole ridden, whatever, in the middle of the road, but look at that nice pretty road down there.
Yeah.
You should put your business over here because we got a pretty road down here. And we've told the owners of those businesses for a while that, it's coming.
I'd like to point out, though, that none of them have, other than the library having the water line break, which that could happen anywhere.
Yes.
There's no sewer issues on the Broadway.
Yeah.
There isn't any that has ever come up. It's always been a water line, and that could happen anywhere.
Oh.
Okay. We know that the sewer on Frederick is bad. It is bad. There's no relining it. There's no, we reline somewhere in town.
Down on Christian
Christian.
with one of the trailer stuff. Didn't we do that?
No, that was all
Oh,
brand new. There was one section that we were able to reline because
we did
it
it
was,
somewhere.
yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere, or Ellsworth. Yeah,
Maybe.
anyway, it's not even, you can't see this at this point.
Yeah, it's got to be a full.
Yeah. Full sounding. Yeah, so it just. It's a tough one. Like you got, and it is your businesses are there, right? Couple houses. Oh, and two of them, actually, the water and sewer goes to the highway. So they're not even, and that would be a huge expense for us to reroute that to come out the Broadway.
So
Because
A
that-
goes to the highway?
The two end ones go out to the highway. Sorry, in
D or?
Indeed.
sorry, right here, these two right here go to the highway. This one and this one, water and sewer.
So we don't have to touch them.
No, we don't, but to reroute them, but what kind of shape is it on the other side?
Well,
Yeah,
that's what I'm.
so, yeah.
Well, it's whether
We're
you,
not doing the sewer lines
This is a tough
from
one.
Yeah,
the
but
road into their businesses.
yeah, I was gonna say,
That's
it's
a
whether you,
problem.
whether you really want to do that, because those businesses were built with the lines running that way. So
Mhm.
if that, if the one beside, um, Gates is, if that's going out the back,
Yeah, he just redid that water line last summer.
yeah, out to the
Yeah,
highway.
up to the highway.
Yeah, so then we'd have to redo it the other way.
Wow. I don't think we have to do anything.
No, but that's what I'm saying, is if we did,
Yeah.
and we'll,
No,
so before I went to the washroom, what was the, you were saying of that about, is there an estimate to do the sewer for A, B, and C for doing the whole line?
A,
Without,
B, and C.
yeah, for doing the whole Frederick without doing the asphalt?
No, we got, you just have to go back onto the proposals and just pick out the asphalt. What is that?
It's for just the deep utilities, that's no, like, not including any general or surface work. $904,663.41 is the estimate
For,
A, B, and C.
That's for just doing the deep utilities.
That's the deep utilities
okay,
alone
okay.
without.
Yeah. The only reason I was thinking about that is because that's the ground disturbance kind of out of the way on the 3. And then all Frederick is done. And then we would have to do a pavement at a later date, but at least then the underlying utilities are done. We're not opening here and then doing a dispatch for this and opening here and everything else. We're just doing the whole thing. It's done.
Laura, what's the remainder and residual for completion? Dollar value.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
If we were to do A, B, and C.
no, we're not doing C or, no, just A and B.
Sorry, A and
A
B,
and B.
sorry,
A and B.
sorry, just A and B.
Yeah.
Oh, just
Sorry.
A,
Sorry.
just the deep utilities?
Just deep.
No, so you've already given us a number on the deep utilities.
And that's A, B, and C.
No, that's ABS.
Okay, let's remove C and let's just go with A and B and let's also do the same thing. But I want to know what the residual is for completion. If possible.
$524, $381, and $35 for just deep utilities on A and B.
No, that 904, that was for the 3,
But
right?
that was for 3, yeah.
Yeah, but does that include, okay, when we're looking at that number, that's just the materials, are you looking, is it,
So I'm just looking at the deep utilities number.
okay,
I'm looking at the subtotal of it all.
okay.
So 524 is the deep utilities for
A and B.
A and B. Okay, and then
524 is for A and B, correct?
for deep utilities, and then
Deep.
Yep,
Yeah.
so 179 to
Okay,
and then the cost remaining to finish the project.
what is the residual outstanding amount for completion?
Oh, okay, sorry. So you will have to pay mobilization and demobilization. So you want to take the first two totals, sorry,
Okay.
is what you want to take, sorry. But if you're doing the two projects, you're gonna remove probably one mobilization, demo.
Yeah, just singular, maybe.
So would council like to table this for the budget meeting that we'll have when Brandon's back later this month? And we can come up with different scenarios. Just like this one
I'll be
here.
hon-
So,
I'm just gonna be honest with you, I'm really against not paving when you do a job.
I'm just curious to know what the residual.
It's
study
just-
is.
Because when you think about the mud and you think about trying to clean streets in the winter and it's. Yeah, no, it's just, I would rather, because I don't know if you were there before it paved, we lived on a street that they did that. It was not great. Without paving.
why don't we just tender A and B? And see what comes out, but tender them as two separate projects. And then if you combine them together, then the demob and all that is gone and off of one and.
Well, could do,
Can we tender all three of them?
We could.
We could.
Well, to be
Doesn't
fair,
cost you
we're
anything.
gonna, I think it doesn't cost nothing. Why wouldn't we
No.
tender all three of them?
You're gonna create the design and that'll come off of whatever.
Yeah.
Future.
Yeah.
Expense.
Yeah.
That's what we did with the Broadway.
I think that's what we
split
should do
it up
is
into
tender all
pieces.
three.
Okay,
Okay,
Totaling all three with everything is 2.9. 2.927.
All three?
All three. A,
That's,
B, and
but
C.
that's not really, that's an estimate. That's not a
Yeah.
tender, right?
Yeah, that's an
Yeah,
so-
estimate of all three of them combined with both general deep and surface works.
yeah.
I'll make a motion that we put all three to tender,
A, B, and D.
A, B, and D,
Okay,
A, B, and D or A, B, and C?
not
A,
C.
B, and D.
we're gonna
Okay.
hold off and see for now.
That's,
Okay, I like that.
That'll change it.
that will change my number.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But like I say, that's just a cost estimate anyway, so,
Yeah, once again, the hard numbers.
yeah, all in favor of tendering all three?
I'm not voting, I'm just.
No. I know what you were doing, Vanna.
yeah.
Yeah, thank
She
you.
probably doesn't even know who Vanna White is.
No, she doesn't.
Anyway. Moving along.
Yeah.
For the older guys.
Financial reports. 11.1, January 2026. What do you want to move? Financials.
I'll
Any
make the exceptions
questions on it?
information.
All in favor? Carried. Correspondence. Anything major in there? So we got a letter of reference from Lush.
Yeah, well, they were in and we had a meeting with them. We just haven't had time to sit down and discuss everybody that submitted in. There's pros and cons to everything and we just gotta see which fits best for the village.
I know, I will just say in their favor, they are two very gung-ho real estate agents. The pair of them women, they are, yeah, anyway. Hey, so we want to move to accept correspondence as information. Brian,
I will.
all in favor? Carried. New business policies handbook.
Okay, so it was. Shelley had prepared for the next little section here, which was Public Works overview. Reporting, which is more to do with, this is all to do with occupational health and safety, most of it. Harassment by resident, internet installations, extreme temperatures. And that was it in that package.
You want a motion to accept as information?
Nope,
Approve it?
approve it.
Okay.
It was in the package. and
Oh, yeah.
Everybody had a chance to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Any questions on that? We want to move to approve.
I'll move to approve.
All in favor? Carried. Revisit radio.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of my
Yeah.
deals because I got to. So we have the basically the EOC radio up here if we ever have a major fire like Cooney or Gleason or Carsland, they need an EOC area. Fireball does not work as an EOC area. So this was a concern of mine because of the fact that, and now that I'm learning more about this AFRAX radio system that they have out, the portables are not a great thing to be using. Like if they're, it's not like the old radios used to be able to push a button, you used to be able to scan Fire One, which with dispatch, you used to be able to scan standard Rockford. So if you had all of these apartments here, you could scan them all on one channel, but you could all, now you can't do that. With these AFRAX handhelds, you have to flip channel to channel. So I had said to Yvette, we never, well, Malcolm actually brought it to my attention that we never looked at a base unit for the EOC. So I actually just did a little bit of questioning, and you can get a base unit that you can take with you. So say we were to go to the community hall as an EOC room, you can take it with you. And then, so I just phoned Yvette and had her look into what it would cost us to get one. I see Standard had 2 base radios down there side by side. These radios, but it doesn't help us.
No, but we were quoted, okay, was this a base radio that we were originally quoted that we,
I don't know.
control station, single band? See, I wouldn't know anything about this, sorry.
Well, it's 2960.
Yeah, 2960. And there's also the installation, right, which was, oh my gosh, that was on the last meeting package. Can you bring up the last one?
Just a little info, like when we were down at Gleason Fire, for instance, this was a huge grass fire threatening the town. They had EOC in the fire hall. Well, the trucks are coming in, loaded with water in the fire, they couldn't hear nothing. So it was an absolute cluster.
Yeah.
And when you got that many departments on scene, it was something that we got to talking, me and a couple of chiefs about it, and it was kind of like, if we don't have one, I guess one was a deputy chief, sorry, and one was a chief in Rocky Ford. I quizzed him because Rocky Ford hadn't talked about it either. None of the villages were really included in the conversation on this radio change. So
Yeah.
it was all kind of the same feeling that, well, what do we, we don't want to end up 2 years from now having a major one and then realizing that we need one and then it's double or triple the price at that point.
I'd rather have it
Yeah,
than
I
not use it, than not have it,
I agree.
than it being an issue.
Yeah.
Especially in the event if we require it,
It would be good in our emergency management
Yeah.
situation.
Well, especially being at our hall.
We could train our DEM and the assistant DEM for the emergency.
Well, I mean, REMP is going to be doing
Yeah.
a lot of this stuff, but REMP isn't going to be here in the first 60 minutes
No,
There's no.
where the fire departments are going to be.
no, it's not in there.
So what I would suggest, Yvette, can I look at that
Yeah.
thing?
Cool.
Because I would like to make sure that I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell.
Well, it must have been in December.
Enhanced mobile.
So these new ones obviously don't come, they're not a portable unit, but it also doesn't come with that manual having to switch over, comes with its own scanning.
Well, I'm hoping,
Is
Must
that
have been
what
in
we're,
December's meeting.
I don't have that. Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
the base radios, and you know what, I can ask a few questions about that.
You know, is there a product out there that
Let's
has?
table it to the next meeting, because then I'll get the quote for installation and stuff, because.
And can you, yeah, I agree with you, but can you, actually, it's your job, not mine. Sorry, I was just trying to help out.
Yeah,
but
no,
Can you find out, if we can scan? Like Rhett was just saying, because on the portables, you can't scan. So your instant command on a fire scene, he's got to carry 2 portable radios with him. Which is not a,
No, we want them to be hands.
so can you find out if the base unit can scan? And I'll ask, you know who to talk to? Phone Malcolm, because they've got them 2 units installed down there. Phone and talk to him, do a little bit more research on that.
you want to
make
be able
sure.
to scan.
I want to be able to, they should be able to
Do multi-channel.
do multi-channel,
Okay,
hopefully, so you're
multi-channel,
not,
okay.
Yeah, without manually having to flip.
you know, EOC would set a channel and everybody would turn to that anyway.
I'll get more information on what was quoted here.
I know
Is
nothing.
that a guarantee?
I know nothing.
I know I've been on 2 majors. One in Carsland years ago, I don't know what year that was, we got pictures in one
Long
in,
time ago.
and one in Gleason. And I tell you what, it was an absolute, I'm gonna just say it was a cluster. Nobody knew where anybody was, they were sending, there was so many trucks. I wouldn't want to be in the EOC room.
Mm,
But anyway, so do some more research on that
Mhm.
and then table it. I'll move the table, the radio till
Okay.
all in favor, carried. WHMB letter of support, we've already done this.
No, this is a different one.
Different one.
They keep coming with them. This is for the application to the Rick Hansen Accessibility Grant, which they are
Oh.
looking to do proposed installation of 5 walk-in showers at the seniors housing facilities.
Doesn't cost us anything.
No, and so we just had the letter drafted. There was the request letter was in your package,
Yeah,
and
I did see it too.
Laura did up the
But,
letter today. So, and all it is we're supporting their application and the
Yeah.
grant funding.
Yeah.
So,
Fun fact, that's my cousin.
Who?
Rick Hansen,
Oh,
my second cousin.
somebody want to make a motion for,
I'll make it.
you didn't, you were too slow.
Sorry.
Rhett had his hand up.
who did?
Rhett.
Okay,
All in favor.
it had more
Carried.
anyway.
You want to hand it down here and I'll sign it?
Yeah, before you
So I don't
forget, because we
forget.
got everything else to sign, but this needs to go all the way. All right, so that's,
There.
It's the one at first.
Taxi service letter of engagement resolution.
yeah, so every 3 years, we need to do the engagement with tax service to do our tax recovery process. So already 3 years have gone by.
Has it really? been
Yeah.
3 years?
Yeah. Because they would have, they started the last process, so that
Yeah.
would have been,
Wow.
Yeah,
how
I
time
know.
has flown.
I know.
When we're having fun.
So, actually, the way it's worded and stuff, so I will, whoever wants to do the motion, because it's a, where am I?
It's gonna be Brian's turn.
Engagement.
Yeah.
So we will be signing the letter of engagement and, this motion.
Can't see it.
You got glasses.
What a scammer.
Okay, I guess I'll give a motion because Mr. Glasses can't read.
So we need a
Doesn't
motion
matter.
for the letter of engagement.
Okay, so I'll motion for a letter of engagement.
Okay,
Whereas the Municipal Government Act requires the municipality to conduct tax recovery proceedings every year. And whereas council of the municipal deems it to be in the municipality's best interests to hire Tax Services, Inc. to manage tax arrears recovery on its behalf. Now therefore, it is hereby resolved that the Village of Standard hired Tax Services, Inc. to manage tax arrears recovery to the municipal behalf for the term of 3 years. And being further resolved that the administrator be and hereby authorized to sign the Tax Service Inc. engagement letter on behalf of the municipality.
Awesome. Motion. With there.
I'm good, right?
All in favor?
Yeah.
Carried.
Carrying on, yeah, carrying on, jeez, that's a
Long
mouthful.
way.
That was
Wow.
nutrient land donation.
So this has actually just been sent down to our legal right now for their comment, but they have not come back to us yet. So I will, yeah, I think we'll table it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who wants to move to?
I'll make the motion to table.
All in favor? Carried.
So we'll do the land donation and the mutual at the same time. Okay.
Marigold agreement.
Yeah. So in the package, you had the agreement. They had a red line copy, then they had the actual agreement. So the agreement, we are a municipality with a board. So if you look, there's a schedule somewhere in there. There was a schedule. Schedule A, which is all the participating partners. So we just have to sign. We have to sign the agreement. Sorry.
Somebody want to move to sign the Marigold agreement.
I'll go ahead with moving
Red,
ahead.
all in favor? Carried. Budget.
Budget. Sorry. Actually, can you go on to Bush Buggy? I'm gonna have to. I got
Okay,
my
fire bush
sheet.
buggy.
All right.
Yes.
Firebush buggy.
Yeah.
What about the Firebush buggy?
Oh, they're giving you their letter for requesting their funds. So, but the Bush Buggy is not until 2027.
Okay.
So,
the cost of it.
yeah, but they are making formal
Yep.
requests
40%.
for their
Yep.
their funding. So, just accept the letter as presented.
I will move we accept the letter as presented. All in favor? Carried. Are we budget yet, or are we going back to solar? We're going on to solar.
Yeah.
Okay, solar.
I have it.
You know what? We're not gonna be able to continue on if
No,
you're gonna keep looking for your budget.
no, I had just a sheet for you guys to give to you, and I
Oh,
just got.
okay.
I'm not sure where it
So what-
ended up, so it was just
Okay.
for you guys to take for your budget, but
Okay.
I'll have it before the end.
Before we leave.
Yep.
Okay, solar.
Okay, so this, as I told you guys, Forest has approved the solar designs so that they can go up on the roofs, that everything's been accepted, so we will move forward with the groups. So in the package, there was for the solar presentation under my report. It shows you exactly everything that was going to be allocated to each group based on percentage over the last 12 months. So this was in your package.
Yeah.
Under my report. So the total project, after all the grants that we got, will be costing us between the community groups and the village buildings in the end, $155,889 after the 50% grant is applied. So at this point in time, I think what we should do is just, most of the groups have gotten this breakdown because they wanted to see where they sat. The village buildings will cost approximately 45,000. So we have that money sitting in our unrestricted reserves. So just
information. But I think what we should do is get a motion to send these numbers out to the groups to start
Okay.
comparing. Or, you know,
Yeah, good idea.
they can make their own mind up how they would like to fund it.
Okay.
So just a motion to send this out to the groups.
All right. For Brian. Sorry, too many Brians.
Yes.
All in favor, carried. Reports, Ladempsa. So I don't even know what meeting to begin at anymore. 'Cause we got so many. You're all at the last one, but so at our last, meeting on the 19th, you pretty much had heard all of the information about costs and stuff, right? That we used to pay 39 per capita and everything, so that our rates are going up. So you know all of that stuff, but here's so standards call, in 2025, their amount of calls have been 128.
What's their average?
We-
I thought I hit 180 because
No, they're
including their,
mutual aid.
yes, their mutual aid.
That highly could be, because they go to Gleason an awful lot, which
Yeah.
these numbers to me aren't accurate because that's what they've been dispatched per department,
Yeah.
right? But look at Gleason's. I mean, the standard was down there again today because
Yeah.
nobody responded from Gleason to a motor vehicle accident. So, you know, we're up. We used to go, and I'm talking in 1993 when I joined the fire department here. We were about 30 calls a year.
Yeah, because according to my tallies, I don't know where I went wrong or if I did go wrong, but I'm sure. Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's the numbers that we got. Fire, that's just fire dispatch.
I know.
That's fires. So
Okay.
anyway, that's basically, I'm not gonna go back into all that stuff we talked about
No.
the other night and
Yeah.
there's, because it's redundant, so
Very much so.
we'll carry on. So there's that requisition, we talked about that. My letter of concern.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I sat down on the weekend and I used ChatGPT.
You didn't.
I did, but it gave me basically that letter you guys have, but I modified it quite a bit. I spent about 4 hours on that letter. I sent that to the chair of WDEPSA. I have not sent that to anyone else. The reason I sent that to him is because I wanted to proofread it first. But I would like council's permission to send that to all municipalities involved and their councilors. I have to have permission to do that.
What was the proofreader's opinion?
Oh, he thought it had to go.
Okay.
It's just stating facts, right? I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just stating that, you know, it's my concerns with what happened. So I don't know if you all had a chance to read it.
I honestly didn't have a chance. I would like to put eyes on it if possible.
Can you read the phone?
Of course I can.
This
Yes,
one?
definitely.
There you go. She's gonna
I have a,
Sorry, I've been really busy lately, so I haven't had enough time.
There it is right there.
Yeah, good.
here too.
No.
There you go.
Fair enough.
There's a few, I just noticed, just going through it myself, on that top line. After the town of Strathmore's meeting, they might get included on that line.
Mhm.
And the bottom, where did I just see that?
Well, you misspelled counselors.
Oh.
And fields should not have an apostrophe.
Okay, we'll change that while you're there.
Well, I
No, I
can't
can do
use
that.
PDF.
From, where did I just see another? Oh, from another area, it should be other area, other areas, not another area. I guess it doesn't really matter either way.
We'd have to go on the original.
Yeah, that's
This
fine.
is
I
the
can,
PDF, yeah.
but it hasn't been sent. And
No.
I don't know if I'm going to yet, but I can't send it unless you guys tell me I can, so.
Well, we're meeting. tomorrow
We're
night,
meeting again tomorrow night, yeah.
Yeah.
So. Everyone.
Yeah. Hmm.
We don't have to worry about it tonight.
Maybe table it.
Yeah, we can table it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have a meeting tomorrow?
Huh?
You have a meeting tomorrow?
we have a meeting tomorrow.
Oh, that's a three villages.
Yeah,
Yes.
she will.
Yes.
Okay. Wheeland Housing, we never had a meeting. Our next meeting was next week, next Thursday, whatever that date is. 19th. Yeah. Drumheller District Solid Waste.
We don't have a meeting. We'll have one on next Thursday.
WRC.
No, WCSS.
Oh, sorry.
WFCSS.
And so I apologize. As I came here straight from work, I didn't bring my notes, but my phone meeting was January 28th and the next one is February 25th.
WRC.
Go ahead.
Hey, I have a look. I handled and went over to WRC Wednesday, 21st of January, 2026. And I have a letter here in regards that has been put out, and a lot of people have probably been writing about this whole situation. And I will read it verbatim. This is in regards to the generator and whatnot.
Hey, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Does everybody remember council coming together and asking that we find out what happened with generators the night that water stopped running and whatnot? On another night, so this is verbatim, on another night, when the power was standard, the backup generator and water treatment plant failed to start. This caused a loss of pressure in the disruption in standard and has to be reported as a non-compliance to Alberta environment. Our operators flushed the system, took the water samples from testing at a provincial lab in Calgary. Tests came back good, and the water was safe. Frontier was called to the plant the next day to figure out what caused the failure start. Turned out that one of the two batteries was dead, despite having a failed start. Sorry, I lost my line there. Hold on. I don't have my glasses with me. I'm just looking for something to actually line out with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lost
Oh, perfect. Sorry. Where did I end there? Frontier replaced the batteries, suggested that it had a constant charge. Frontier replaced both batteries and suggested that we purchased a load test and then we ran our monthly generator test afterwards. After the load test and the batteries, we have done the recommendations and written this new procedure into our operations and maintenance manual. Monthly load test batteries will also be done in Rockyford on other generators.
Nice.
I find that to be an absolutely suffice answer. They did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
The information that was correlated to us was fantastic.
Yeah.
And just to reference that in your package, there was a picture of the power pole that was in question that put the power out for all that. So
Yeah.
the issue for that
Yeah.
also. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
I'm all good with the answers. Go ahead.
Also, I booked a visit with them, and I'd like to. I don't know. They're going to get back to me as soon as possible in regards. I haven't had time to get over there. It's just been a busy time for me. But it's looking good. They said probably March meetings is when we can book a tour
Nice.
at that point in time. Other than that, everything is looking on the up and up.
And when's the next meeting?
I have it somewhere on my phone.
2 months from the last.
Is it every month?
Yeah, it's every
February
month.
18th then?
Oh, they're on
18th,
every
yeah.
month again?
Yes. So I did get an email this morning or this afternoon, just prior to coming in from WRC. I haven't read it yet. I haven't put eyes on it, but I would assume that it'd be in there as well.
Community futures.
All right, so again, I don't have my notes with me, but as Vet knows, they have been invited to assist completing the EDA investment readiness test.
Tool.
Cool, sorry.
Yeah, that's,
Do you want to share?
so I've been attending a couple EDA sessions and it's Economic Development Association. And the last meeting that we had, we actually had Alberta, Invest Alberta at the table. And they are telling us that we're not on their radar because they don't send us any requests for information. So when they send out to municipalities, they're asking you, hey, we're looking for a place that has this, this, and this. Do you have that? And then we respond back, but we're not even on their radar. So what we're doing is we're going to get on their radar so that they know what we have, and then they can come to us and offer us possibilities for investing. So
Sorry, so basically what it is they have an investment pool of clients that look and say, I want to start such and such business. And this board organization can then go through and say, well, this community has this and this community has this community has, B and C, this one has just A. So what they're doing is they're asking us to basically put forward our what opportunities we have and what resources we have available, and what that could possibly be of interest to a potential investor for a business or along those lines. And then when the communities come in, or when the organizations contact them, they can say, well, Standard has this, Rosebud has this, Hannah has this, and then they can go through and add it all and let them know what they have. And if we fit all three, they can come through. Basically, it's a vetting process.
Yeah.
To let them know what communities are, what things they have.
Or possibly what you could offer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That you haven't even thought of, because one municipality came back and they said that they were geared up for an airport. They would have never ever thought that they could,
Yeah.
do that, because they just never thought of it. But they were in the right area, and it would be facilitating an airport.
Yeah, they had the right infrastructure and the land available that they could have a small regional or rural airport there. But again, as Vet said, they hadn't thought about it till this organization came back and said, yeah, well,
Or they completed the toolkit.
yeah, they then said, yeah, you have all these. So they're in the process. It's a program that we're working on.
Yeah, and Community Futures is helping everybody fill it out.
Nice.
So that's awesome.
Next meeting.
Our meeting was on February the 5th. Our next meeting is on March the 5th.
Library, he's away. Ramp.
Leonard missed
Customers left.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
so just an official,
Oh, yeah, just missed. That's about it.
yeah, and then meeting in March or something.
March.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got March.
Okay. Somebody want to move the consent agenda
Well, report says presented.
as presented? Yeah. Oh,
No, this is what.
sorry. Yeah,
I'll make a motion to accept the reports as presented.
I jumped ahead. Somebody want to move the consent agenda?
With that
All in
consent agenda.
favor?
Mm.
Carried. Counselor concerns, Rhett.
I just, I don't really have too many concerns. I just didn't see too much of an update from Fortis. That's the only thing I had in this in regards to the electrical posts that we spoke about last time. Do we have them come back to us?
No, so what we have to do is they say the polls are fine. They're not gonna topple over anything, but they want to see what the village has for future projects. And that's where we're going to be with the Frederick Avenue extension and stuff like that, to see if they can't incorporate everything into one package. But I have called them multiple times on those poles, and they have replaced poles that I've complained about in the industrial
Maybe
park,
they
but they
can,
come and they check them.
maybe they can incorporate the lights at Centennial Park at the same
Yeah.
time as.
Yes, yes.
Because.
And the other thing that I was also told that the lines that are hanging from the tower is TELUS
Telus
lines.
lines.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was told that also. So, yeah, that's another issue.
We have a Telus line in the alley in Rocky Ford that's been hit and tore down 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's still just hanging there. They've been notified that obviously nobody has landline in that area.
It
because-
doesn't tell us how it is. They have an existing building
Yeah.
here in Standard.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Telus isn't just for phone lines, so they use that. That line is used for internet.
Yeah, it's fiber optic.
That building is, yeah.
So and so forth.
What it?
That's it. Sir.
Brian,
Nothing major. Nothing, well, there was on the dog bylaw, there was a typo, that's the one thing I
Oh,
found.
We'll look for it.
Down on their vicious dogs, and it was,
Oh,
what the heck, I had
Okay.
to look at it 3 times.
our Brian,
No, sir, no concerns at this time.
I have one. So the bed and breakfast on the corner of the cul-de-sac,
mhm.
she's got 2 big rocks sitting out in the gutter on the corner. It's on village property. Somebody's gonna hit it with a vehicle, or if it snows and we hit it with equipment.
Mhm.
Was it on
We'll have
village
to work.
property?
Huh?
Is it on village property?
Yeah, it's right down in the gutter.
What was it?
Yeah, it's off the sidewalk. It's
Right
just
by
about on
Albert
there,
there.
right on the edge of the
Put them
pavement.
out there.
Oh, no, anybody can explain her to me, I'd be willing to.
Okay,
That's all I had.
Okay.
Right.
Closed session,
accept counselors' concerns,
sure,
motion.
Sure.
I'll make that motion. All in favor? I'm tired, sorry.
It's okay.
Carried.
You do. Okay, can we go back to my budget? Sorry.
No.
You guys, so you can, oh my goodness. A nice.
We're taking this with us?
Yes.
Okay.
So I wanted to show you the 2024-2025 estimates, and I actually put in all the actuals that are as of December 31st, right now, prior to audit, okay? So as you can see now, you can look at this and say, okay, where do we need to change? But well, we know in an administration, that's really high because of legal fees, okay? We know in roads that we bought a tractor, okay? So 140,000 for the tractor, you can remove that off, okay? Subdivision, again, is the lot sales.
Where does it show our debenture on that subdivision up there? I know
In
it's
this,
not
okay, sorry, this common number you see here, 45,926.24, that's debentures.
45,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Where's that?
extra, that's what the extra is
2025.
the
Estimate under subdivision.
audit adjustment that's
Okay.
been done for the land.
And that debenture on that subdivision is not finished until 2039, right?
Correct. That's a debenture, 45,926.24 every year. That number never
Yeah.
changes. It just goes up or down in interest or,
Mhm.
I know.
Yep.
Okay, so then you can look at this and you can say going forward. So now the 2026 column is actually calculating a 2% increase from the 2025 estimate, okay?
Okay.
So and every year goes up 2%, okay? But it is calculating right now, you'll see it's increased a bit, but only 2% from the 2025 estimate. But you have your actuals in there.
Okay.
Okay, so, and at the bottom, I just gave you, it is a negative, but again, I told you there was a tractor purchase There was a lot of things in there that wasn't part of our budget or operating budget. All right, so you can take that home and taking into consideration part of budget, okay? In talking to Kyle at Strathmore Tech or whatever, what's recommended for council for devices would be laptop is overkill. Chromebook is not really where you want to go, but a laptop tablet would be of good use to the council. So right now, for under $750, we can get a Galaxy Tab S10 for under $750, and it does everything that we would need it to do. Well, I think we need devices.
We
This
do,
is ridiculous.
we do need, I just have one question.
Yeah.
So emails drive me nuts.
We have to fix that, and you'll be all on Google Drive.
No,
With Google.
but so when you get
Yeah.
on a thread of emails, and I've been on a lot of threads of emails in the past month here over this Odemsa stuff. So when I get 15 emails
Yes.
on the same
Mhm.
reply in a group, on a phone, it's a disaster.
Yeah,
I am missing emails because
that's a setting you can change, I believe, in your phone
maybe
because,
somebody with some tech
Yeah.
intelligence could change it.
so what we'll do is that every device will be set up exactly the
So
same,
that-
but with your own email, village email.
I hate my
address.
life.
So
today.
I guess my question is, the emails will be set up more like on a laptop than on an iPhone or an iPad.
Yes.
Yes, you can set them up in chronological order.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
So we sent Brandon off with Brian's old tablet here, and it was just push a button, there's your drive. Push a button, there was, well, we had set him up for a meeting, but
Okay.
obviously it didn't happen, so.
No, I'm good. So,
So if, you know, I mean, we can't wait for budget to happen. So we need to get rid of this
Get her done.
paper here. And I'm sorry, yeah, I'm looking, because I wanted you guys to have this to take home so that when we discuss budget, you know, you can come back and say, okay, you know, we need to
So-
work on this, or, you know,
five tablets,
yeah,
that's 700.
750. I think we could just get a motion to
$37.50.
spend up to $750 per counselor for.
But why don't we
Devices.
just make it up to $3,750?
um,
Am I right or wrong?
You're
How
wrong.
much was it?
Am I?
No,
was it?
you're right.
Say, my math is usually.
No,
I
your
wrote
math
it
is
down
good.
someplace.
Yeah.
37.50.
Okay, so, yeah, if we could just get that motion and.
You know what, I'll just make a motion that we go to $3,800 on spend purchase 5 tablets.
Okay.
Get rid of this forest killing office.
Mhm.
All in favor? I do have to ask, comes with a keyboard or
Yes.
mouse or whatever.
These are like a laptop tablet,
Okay.
like, it's not a laptop, but it's set up like a laptop, and it will be, you can use a stylus pen with it, so if you want to mark up.
So you might want to think about having a policy for these things.
Yes,
In place,
we will
right?
have to,
For,
yeah.
this is strictly for,
Council,
Council
Yes.
business.
because there's been a counselor somewhere that was putting,
yeah.
pictures on the and it just,
This is
He-
strictly
It goes to everybody, yeah.
it goes to everybody, so.
council emails, so we'll set you up for
Okay.
your emails, will go right there, it'll be super easy.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
All in
Yeah.
favor? I think we.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my-
Do you want to go one again?
Let's do it
Yeah, I
again.
want to make sure all in
Yeah,
favor.
everybody's in.
Okay, we're all in favor.
Nobody's arguing.
All right.
so,
13.0.
Three, don't one.
Okay.
to add to tax rules. Expenses. So, I made a
How
little,
many motions?
who wants to read?
There, I saved you.
You're gonna do them all?
Yeah,
Okay,
so just
yep. Just read.
moved by Richard Bryan to add tax recovery expenses to roll number 10001. Do you want me to read the numbers and everything?
Yes.
Okay. 833.14 for legal October 25, 190.50 for taxi service November 25, 3042.52 for legal, December 25, 1911.99 for legal, January 25.
So that's,
Okay, that's one
that's your motion.
That's the first motion. Thank you.
All in favor? Carried.
Okay, moved by Richard Bryan to add, would it be easier if I just
Do
reference?
you need
the-
oxygen before you start the next?
No, I'm just wondering, do you want me to reference the numbers just as numerical value or as dollar value?
Yes, dollar value.
yeah.
Dollar value is easier,
yes.
okay. Moved by Richard Bryan to add tax recovery expenses to roll 20002, $2,371.26 for legal, October 2025. $190.50 for tax e-service, November 2025. $8,659.49 for legal, December 25. $5,441.81 for legal, January 2025.
All in favor? Carried.
Okay.
This is never ending.
Moved by Richard Bryan to add tax recovery expense to roll 40005, $435.00 for tax e-service.
All in favor? Carried. That's a new one?
Moved by Richard Bryan to add tax recovery expense to roll 80008, $435 for tax e-service.
All in favor? Carried.
Moved by Richard Bryan to add tax recovery expense roll 100009, $435 for tax e-service.
All in favor? Carried.
You did it.
So those, I know what the first ones were.
Yeah.
The last ones are all new. And that's 3 years.
2024 and 2025 in arrears.
Okay,
So now they have a year to clear that up after March 31st of 2027, then we go through the tax recovery process. Whew, yes.
I'm waiting.
guess that's it.
Oh, right on top. That's right on it.
Yeah, we need somebody to adjourn. Brett?
Remember?
At 8:56. We did it before 9.
Well done.
Good, sorry.
So you, I gotta ask this, we're